Oh shit, we're live. Oh no, fuck. No. Hey, what's up, people? We're back. The collective is alive for sure, for real. We've been posting a lot of fan film stuff, a lot of fan film watches lately. Check out the one where Angus and I do commentary on Cad Biggity Bane. That was a fun little one, fun little edit as well with that. How you doing, Angus?
Oh, I am alive.
Oh, okay. I guess it's okay. Well, I don't know how long you'll last when we talk about Kenobi and make our way through that show. But okay, I'm kind of being hyperbolic there. It's not horrible, but it isn't really all that good, of course. But we'll see. We'll see what we got here as we go through. How are people doing as they
gave
come
me
in?
you had you said something at the start about the collective, but then you kept going. I was going to interject what's more the collective will rule the galaxy.
That would have been a good one.
But yeah, I missed it. It was it was a half-second window, and I was like, ah!
I kept going. My stupid mouth be prattling.
Oh, you're good, man.
Yep. What's up, Question of Trek? What's up, people that come on in? Flip is a little under the weather tonight, so it is just Anguloid and I. And do you know when the next episode is supposed to be at?
I'm assuming Friday. I assume Obi-Wan's going to be a Friday thing.
I don't like that, but I guess that's a change up from Wednesday. But whatever, I guess. So I guess just going right into it, man.
I'm actually gonna play it on mute on my computer since I got a good computer. I can do that.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
That way I can be like, oh
technology.
yeah, we're here at this part and this thing happened, and wow,
you can actually reference
Kathleen
things.
Kennedy,
nice.
Let this thing. She signed off on it.
Before we actually talk about the show here, want to give any pre-context to what you were thinking going into this? There's a lot of people that don't want to watch any of it at all, which is understandable. There's a lot of people that want to watch it to rip on it. I am just I don't care about it, but I do like to be part of the conversations, whether they're to discuss good and bad things that happen with these shows. It's kind of fun in that way. So, and there's a lot of memeable shit in this stuff. That's all I'll say. A lot of things they take seriously are funny. Like when they're trying to be intense, it's like, oh, that's adorable. Like the chase, it's like, oh, okay. Many of their chases. But what about you, Angus? What's your pre-context to this?
Oh, my pre-context, just so I guess people get my frame of mind, is I'm a huge prequel fan. But not because of Obi-Wan. I think Obi-Wan is whatever. He's an obligatory character, kind of. It's what Lucas wanted to tell, and I'm fine with it. It's not that I hate his story necessarily. I'm not an Obi-Wan. I'm a Darksider, so first of all, I don't care about good for goodness sake characters.
Yeah, you want a Darth Maul show instead or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, literally, there's so much you could do with them if you're just going off of his film presentation before the Clone Wars and Rebels. If you include oh yeah, he actually lives through this, and without needing cartoons for context for the added lore, there's just so much you can do with them because you only have 10 minutes. Just like the idea of Boba Fett, there's so much you can do because he's got minimal screen time, and so there's wide open
room to expand.
Yeah, versus someone like Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, Palpatine, Yoda. More screen time, more things you see him do, the more red tape you got as far as But yeah, I think the prequels make Obi-Wan cool as a character, or a substantial character. I think he's only substantial in the original trilogy because they only got a few characters, and he's kind of like a Virgil to Luke's Dante. He's a spiritual guide through the story, but he does nothing really. He's just a ghost, and he tells him some stuff, and half of the insight is because of Yoda or from learning from failure the hard way. So
that is an interesting way to phrase it. A lot of people will look at Obi-Wan as the full scope, but as far as just the originals, he was a part, but not a like long
not
lasting
that
part.
like Obi-Wan doesn't have a big influence on my watching the original trilogy. I don't think, wow, Obi-Wan, I want his fucking toy. Are you kidding me?
Gosh, you hate
Screw
Leia,
that.
you hate Obi-Wan. What is wrong with
I
you,
don't
Angus?
hate Obi-Wan. He's a light sider, so I'm not rooting for him. I want Vader to win and have Luke and make, rule the Empire. I want him to fall on Mustafar, but I like a good tragedy. But no, the prequels actually makes him a cool character. Like you see him do shit. It gives his character weight that is missing in the original trilogy. It's not that I hate Obi-Wan. It's just like meh, That's how I feel when I talk about like just any part of Star Wars. Is like any one character is like whatever. Like Anakin's cool because I've told you like he's the prodigal son, but he's also Satan. He's complex and he inverts story hero and villain tropes. So that's why he's so iconic. Aside from the suit and the imagery, is that there's a subconscious appeal to what Lucas did to undermine convention, as subtle as it is. But when you just take one piece out of Star Wars and you're like, oh, I really like this, and you look at it, it's like, this is very plain and simple. There's nothing really that cool about it. It's the plagiarism that Star Wars is of everyone's hero stories because of Joseph Campbell. That's why Star Wars is cool. The individual pieces are boring as fuck. And so that's how I look at Obi-Wan, especially because he's a light side. I'm just like, whatever. But the other thing that irritates me too is like, on one hand, it makes sense because prequels is years of my generation. We're like in our late 20s and 30s now. And so we are a substantial consumer base to prey upon as far as Disney's concerned. And it's like, oh, about time. It just took you 10 years to figure out to appeal to us, because they came into Star Wars and like, oh, everyone hates the prequels. Let's just do original trilogy focused stuff. And now they realize like, oh, big mistake.
Like, oh yeah, there's prequel fans. Oh yeah, shit. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, that's why Mando episode 6 or Boba Fett episode 6 was so good, because it's like prequel love. Oh my god, that using Baby Yoda, a post original trilogy character, to see a different view of Order 66, it was amazing. But yeah, that's kind of my overall film. I'm just like, I want him to make sense to get you, and he's the right age to play this middle of the story point of Obi-Wan. But he's in 6 films. He's in episode 7 as a voice. So that makes him have an impact in the story. At least that was the intent. And he's in Clone Wars substantially, and I want to say he's in Rebels here or there. So it's like he's got a lot of stuff going on. It's like, do I need a Obi-Wan story?
I think he's the only character that's like has the majority of screen time or voice time, whatever, collective time overall in all of Star Wars stuff is Obi-Wan. Yeah. And he's also tied to like so many important events. It's kind of like unreal in a way, just a little bit, because it's like he kills Darth Maul and he has to, train Anakin, and he also is like vital in like the Clone Wars and all that stuff, and Dooku, he found Geonosis.
He kills Grievous. He kills the general of the Separatists.
He tracked Jango to Geonosis and found all that stuff, and like ignited the Clone Wars.
Yeah, it's kind of why they even
you're right.
About
Then
the army.
He took out Grievous, and then it's like he fought Vader. He trained Luke. It's like he's responsible for everything. Like if there's like a core piece of Star Wars, I guess it would be Obi-Wan. I would think.
Yeah, prequel Obi-Wan. That's the thing. The original trilogy is like, oh yeah, I was in the Clone Wars and your dad was too.
Oh, no, but I mean, he still has an impact, as in he does the initial getting Luke off of the planet. He's essentially watched over him, assuming there's any dangers he's had that he's like intervened with or something. It's like, so he still like has played a huge part in like shaping the whole galaxy, I guess.
Yeah.
Insane. And then even after he's dead, you go to Yoda. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and he feels like just what you see in the films. It seems like he catches on. Like I don't know. Sometimes it seems like maybe he's like he should totally be sensing or aware, especially given the breadcrumbs in episode 2 before they get married, before they go off on their own, where it's like he knows the feelings he has for Padme, and he also understands like we didn't get him as like an infant. We got him at 8 years old, and this is like the only other girl besides his mom he's attached to. And I sing her when he's a horny teen, and so yeah, he's not gone the traditional route to be a Jedi, and now he's seeing.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan apparently had feelings too for some people, so whatever.
Yeah,
that gets into a deeper conversation about Obi-Wan in general.
It seems like he was like, sometimes it seems like, because he deduced like, oh, Anakin's the father, huh? And he's like, I'm sorry, you got to go kill your sire.
Yep.
But it seems like maybe he knew all along that they were together.
He was just giving some abortions.
He seems complicit, and yeah, I don't know. It's like Ewan makes the character interesting, but at the same time, he's kind of wooden. He's not like Captain America, G golly, or Superman, but he's kind of in that realm of like just a good character that doesn't seem like he's got real flaws besides maybe ineptitude sometimes.
I mean, hypocritical kind of, but
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I come in. So I'm just like, I mean, it's Star Wars and it's kind of prequelish, so I'm definitely on board with anything suiting that. But I'm just like, Obi-Wan of all God.
So it's like it is a little annoying because it's one of those things where it's like being too safe sometimes. Where it's like, yeah, there is a gap in his time period where we don't know exactly what happens, but sometimes we don't need every hole filled. We can have some empty holes. That'd be
there's a
nice.
20-year gap where he stays in his hermit cave and learns how to scare Tusken Raiders. That's the gap. So I mean, it's fun to like make this stuff up post Lucas, and it's like whatever. I've said this. I compartmentalize Disney Star Wars and regular Star Wars. I'll go along with it and see what they can create, but I'm just like, no.
It gets annoying when they use the same crayons over and over again. It's like, can you pick some new ones from a box, but also like draw something neat that's not total shit.
Yeah, honestly, it makes way more sense to do a Vader story than Obi-Wan, and be like, well, Vader's in all 6 films, and he impacts episode 7 through 9 as well.
Even if I know they can't get Christopher Lee, but I mean to see like Dooku, like when he left, see what caused him to leave the Jedi Order and what led him to Sidious and the Separatists. That would be a cool story. Is like seeing that thing, and like, does he try to get Qui-Gon early or other Jedi, and it's like no, or maybe Qui-Gon might have been the only one that was like considering. Well, maybe
well, the reason Vader could have his own show despite having so much screen time and presence in the saga is because there's so much unexplored with once he's actually a Sith. It's like, he was knighted as Vader by the Emperor and carries out Order 66, and then he gets brutalized and almost killed by Obi-Wan, and then gets the iconic suit, which is actually his like handy capable suit, and we've never, besides Rogue One, we've never actually seen him do badass shit with full potential of effects. And then you got like they've added the Inquisitors to the story and stuff, and all these, mechanizations of the Emperor trying to find a new apprentice and Vader after fighting that, like in the comics. There's so much to actually put on screen with Vader's story.
In one of the stories I read, this would have been a good idea to have like a Vader story, but also like some other characters. That kicks off with Obi-Wan, yes, and he goes off planet like once. So that's just because he hears of like an old Padawan that was like, he and a couple other masters that had like Padawans and were kind of like had a little rivalry. A little bit, like a friendly rivalry with their stuff, and would go on missions sometimes. And he found out he survived and tried to make sure he was alive, and sets him on a little journey to, gather small rebellion, snowball effect kind of a thing. But Obi-Wan's going to chill on Tatooine, doing his thing, and there's like it would be interesting with that. There's a lot of interesting stuff there where he can like feel Vader, and he's like it's familiar, like what the hell? And it's like his old rival that they used to be neck and neck with, and Vader shot up power wise, like whoa, I'm sweating just being near you, kind of a thing. It was like it was interesting seeing what he does because he's a Jedi that like does some dark shit in it, like I think I forget if he actually ends up accidentally causing the deaths of some people, and it was like, ooh, that's shady, for a Jedi. All right, cool, good. Yeah, I know I know you'd appreciate that.
I'm sure a lot of people will probably hear my ragging on Obi-Wan are like, how dare you? It's not possible.
Tim's asking, did we like Reva?
Fuck no.
I feel like there's a lot of people when talking about it that'll be like, oh, well, she's a Jedi that wasn't doing very good, and now she's bad, and that's what it's supposed to be, right? It's like that's not the point about it. I guess it's like the way that the character is portrayed just seems out of the world. Like it's very like just inserted in here, kind of. And it's like,
well, yeah, like first off,
she also doesn't feel Star Warsy with the way she is presented, as where the other characters have unique features of some kind. She's just helmetless. It's like, okay,
yeah, you got the Grand Inquisitor. Well, okay, one of the things at least they set up in the original trilogy, they kind of whiffed with Leia because she was trying to do like a English accent and sucked. So they just like whatever. Not like Scarlet Witch, and and plus she's a hero, so she can be normal.
Well, yeah, but like Tarkin did some good British stuff, and so did the people in the council room or whatever were British, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean they're filming in England and stuff, Pinewood Studios, whatever. So, yeah, but they used English to differentiate from American, maybe because the Rebel Empire, it's very American Revolution. That might be something aside from casting location or filming location. But that was a way to that was another element on top of symbolism and color scheme. That was ways to distinguish the good guys from the bad guys. The elite, pious, nose in the air at, the plebe kind of American English people. And so you got the Inquisitor, that's, English. You got, Asians, seventh brother, whatever, fifth brother, whatever his name is, that has an accent, and it gives him a mystique, and he doesn't say a lot. So there's a bit of menace there. But then you got like, black chick. You could have swapped her out with that black bitch from Captain Marvel, her co-pilot or whatever. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna show them boys and stuff. And it's like, she doesn't seem part of the evil. It's very obvious they're going to bait and switch her. She's actually not that bad. She's just been used, and she'll have some sort of rectifying moment, even if she ultimately falls because she's not in the story later on. It's obvious that she feels shoehorned. Like, you already get the Grand Inquisitor, and sure, he's got his little minion Inquisitors to do the menial work, but it's like, she's here to find stuff to then report to him, but like the Inquisitor's already with her, and it's like, what is this?
Well, let's start from the beginning, because we're just kind of, that's a little too far into it. Let's actually start the breakdown of this. We haven't really started talking about it yet.
First off, the intro, the previously on Star Wars.
That was hilarious. Recap. We're both like, well, I was like a few seconds ahead of him when we watched it at the same time. And I was like, hey, do you want to skip the recap? It's like, recap?
It's like, it's episode 1. What recap? It's like, wait. And then we're watching it. It's like, oh, this is just a highlight reel from the prequels. It's like, how would you watch the show without watching the prequels?
It was the embodiment of Red Letter Media's "Remember Star Wars?"
Yeah.
As Angus said, it was like, oh, that is like what this would be perfect for that, because it's literally, hey, look, remember when this happened and when that happened, and Obi-Wan? Okay, yeah, he shook Anakin's hand and then killed Darth Maul, and then he went over here and then he went over there, and it's like, well, yeah, I know, we watched the movies. That's why we're watching this. Because
it's like that's why I'm here. From.
I mean, I imagine there's maybe 7 people that would just, oh, derp, what's this one? I don't know, but I feel like that's a rarity to have a human that would actually get Disney, that would get the service and be like, "Gee, what's this Kenobi Star Wars Kenobi? What's this?" Like, I
I've
doubt
heard all the young ones talk about a Star Wars. What is that?
I doubt that people that are subscribed to their thingy, like, and if you're pirate, well, then you've still the same rule applies.
There's only two reasons to buy Disney Plus right now, but besides access to some of their vault, whatever you want to call it, their catalog, is the new crap on there. And it's like the only new crap you're getting that's worth like paying a subscription monthly is Star Wars and Marvel. So there's only two reasons you're on here. If you're watching Kenobi, I assume you should already.
Well,
they didn't do this for Boba Fett.
So
That's what's weird.
It's like I'm not like complaining about it. It's just like, it's funny that it's there and it was edited fine, but it's just funny that it's there at all. It's like, this is weird. Like if you had pilot episode starting with previously on, it's kind of like, what? It's weird.
I'm like, oh my god.
I don't even know if Book of Boba Fett did that. They just started.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when you think about it,
they just started.
Like, they could have did, the highlight reel of episode 2 and episode 5 and 6 of keynotes that are pertinent to his story, and they did.
Boba go, "Get him, Dad, get him," and then other shit. Like, okay, thank you. Now we know who he is. Okay.
Yeah, and
that's just funny at all. It's just really just like,
yeah, and they could include the Mandalorian too for context in that highlight reel because he pops in, has an influence, but so it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah,
this is a product where it's like, hey, you're getting extra stuff on an established character with the guy who played him in 3 films in the 2000s. So like, just the base setup of the show makes no sense to have a previously on recap. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's stupid. And this just shows you that they didn't even understand what they're making, because they have to put this pre-emblem on there where it's like they think everyone's stupid and they don't have any faith in their product. That
it's like they go, what if they saw Star Wars 10 years ago? They won't remember. It's like, it's fine. Then they can watch the movie. It's fine.
It's weird because, like Boba Fett's made where it's like, yeah, you're not really going to get where we're at if you haven't watched Mandalorian. And so you're going to go watch Mandalorian to then watch Boba Fett. And it's like,
who just ignored it entirely.
That's some confidence right there. But I mean, just adds to the whole, they had to rewrite all their scripts and drafts and whatnot.
So going into the first scene now, because that doesn't count as a scene. It's like it starts with the temple, right?
It starts with a new view of Order 66 with some younglings with I guess like a middle school age Jedi Padawan kind of leading the way.
You said you have the thingy up on another.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, and it looks so good.
Yeah, so they are running around and they don't get killed, and the kids don't get killed, right? The teacher or the older student gets killed, but the kids in it are not shown to be killed, right?
Yeah. So okay, maybe that's where the Reva comes in later.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because this scene didn't seem to connect to anything other than just, oh, the Jedi are being hunted now because look at when this happened, and kind of
I didn't even think.
It's kind of like the recap. It's kind of like the recap at the beginning. It's like, well, yeah, I know, but when they saw the little younglings and did not show them get killed, and then they show Inquisitors, it's like, oh, that's probably what that is. Like,
yeah, no, see, okay, that's interesting because just watching this fresh, and I was thinking I was going to have to stay up another 3 hours before it dropped. So I didn't pay attention to that opening like that, where it's like, oh, that's Reva, because
I didn't either. I thought about it later.
When I'm rewatching it, there's 5 or 6 Padawans aside from the one protecting him. She gets shot. They leave her, or at least there's no more clones in that hallway to shoot them, so they're running off. But she's kind of in the center frame. It looks like they're about to zoom in on her, but they stop after a quick zoom in for a half inch. Then they run off, and then it's credits, and And it's like, oh, okay. So that was a little clever because like it was a little given the intro, and then it's like, oh, we're in Order 66. You're wondering like, all right, where does this connect? And then we're just seeing Obi-Wan. It's like, oh, now I get it. Okay, so yeah, it's very herky jerky how they set this up.
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't as clear as it could have been, which is funny with how much setup they give without it really paying off as well. But what's up, Dash? Dash here says they put the starting recap in Obi-Wan because they don't want people to watch the prequels to see how much better they are than Disney Star Wars.
Yes! Oh, I love this guy.
That's a good point.
I love the Dash. Yes.
That's a good point. They're like, no, don't watch those movies again. Just watch our stuff, please. Don't watch that stuff. We'll just put it all. We'll cut all that stuff into nice little clips at the beginning of things, so you don't have to watch them ever again.
Yeah, it's so funny because now that Disney's making prequel stuff, now people are gonna be like, oh, Padme's so strong, and now they're gonna because this is part of why I hate Leia is because without purposely making her some feminist icon, Padme is way better consistently through all three films, even getting knocked up during the conflicts. She's more powerful than Leia. She's more interesting, like the just the plot points of her and the struggles. Leia's just like, I'm a strong woman, feminist, like, get out of my way, scruffy nerf herder. And then it's like, then she just becomes like side chick who happens to have pull and rank, but she's just Han's, bitch. That's kind of the extent of her characters. Like, starts real high potential, and then it's like, oh yeah, she's gonna get banged out by Solo. The end.
Yep. What's the next scene?
Okay. It's so after that opening in the temple, we see 10 years later, which, pairing that with Baby Yoda's vision from the Order 66, it's like, wow, they're with new technology and unlimited resources at hand, recontextualize, or not recontextualize, but, new angles of Order 66. It just looks so beautiful. Like,
yeah, it does look nice as far as.
Oh my god! I'm
visually.
just like, yes, prequel stuff, and it's shiny and amazing.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna use Order 66 constantly as like a point where, like, they're never gonna show. They're never. No. I'm saying they're never gonna show the full invasion because they can always add a new thingy whenever they need something in a show to refer to another character. So it's like, hey, we're not gonna show you the full sequence ever. Well, why? Because we might need to add something later.
They're going to show us Order 66 on the planet Nerd.
Probably. That sounds like a Futurama name that they'd come up with a planet just to make fun of something. Like, oh, planet Nerd. It's just a whatever planet. Okay.
Planet Nerd.
The Nerians.
All right, but yeah, we're 10 years later. We're on Tatooine. You're seeing, I'm assuming, Mos Eisley or some similar town, and people. There's just so many like everyday life, gambling in the back alleys, Jawas hustling.
And then they show Kenobi doing his brick.
No. Right away, Inquisitors drop in.
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah, right away, Inquisitors bust the party. They go to a cantina. They're like, we heard Jedi is helping you. They're weak. And they got like this itch that they just got to scratch to help people. And we're going to use that to find them.
Oh, yeah, that was the bar scene, where they come in and they're like, Jedi are, they got itches to scratch, and there's scratches on the wall. So, and then they throw a knife. They throw a knife at the dude, and the retard just like uses the force right there to block it, and he just stays still. Oh yeah, they won't see me. Oh shit.
Well, what I'm noticing is the ship they're in. It looks kind of like Krennic's ship from Rogue One, but also it's kind of like First Order crap. And so they're blurring the lines, image-wise, design-wise, for a sequel trilogy appeal.
Yeah,
see what they're doing. And I'm just like, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, one. So it's like I was kind of annoyed that they like went to Tatooine so soon. It's kind of like I kind of wish that maybe events like would lead to Tatooine here, or like other than Obi-Wan. You know, I don't know. It was just a pet peeve of mine, just being on Tatooine all the goddamn time. Then, like, yeah, with the look of the Inquisitors, you know, I guess I've seen worse stuff before, like in Boba Fett, but these just came off as plain, kind of just, yeah, all right. And even the bar, I don't know, it's okay, I guess. But I thought the Jedi in it was a complete dumbass. But I guess he's supposed to be a dumbass. Like, I don't.
Oh, dude, that's the other thing. The Jedi. Oh my god! Like, this is the thing I hate about new Star Wars is I want to say maybe there's like one alien Disney stars and I'm like, whoa, that was cool. Everything else is like, it's like that gay ass frog lady person.
Oh yeah,
Baby Yoda. Like, I'm glad he's extinguishing her race. They look stupid. But yeah, everything that looks cool in Star Wars was before Disney got it, alien wise. I don't know. I can't think
all their designs, all their designs are pretty not good. Like,
I have multiple versions of, essentially bullshit background characters like Ayla Secor. I've bought 3 or 4 of her busts, off and on that I've sold and bought again. And she's just in the background. She has no speaking lines.
Yeah, when I was a kid, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, Yanni Moody,
there you go.
Shock T. I had no idea who the hell these people were, but I'm like, they look cool. Like,
it's just awesome. They look so cool. You want to buy them when they're just background characters, and Disney.
I got the chubby Rancor trainer guy. I don't even know who he is.
That's funny. But no, that's the thing is like, especially Force users, like, it's cool to have non-humans have some sort of sentience and esteem. And the one time we get an alien Jedi in Disney Star Wars so far, he is just a person. Like, maybe it's his like species is born this way, but really just a person with a tattoo design on their face.
Yeah, you know what I think it is? I think it's because of the emoting. I think they pick human Jedi all the time because they think that they can emote better that way, and maybe with the makeup or like a head thing on, they don't think that you can get emotion from it. Kind of like with the helmet stuff, where they always make them take off helmets. It's like their masks. They think that you won't get the emotions, and so they pick more human Jedi.
Well, it's funny
I think that's what they do.
Because I mean, they had to film around Mando's helmet for 7 out of 8 episodes for season 1, and even in episode 8, he only takes it off for a little bit. He's always in his helmet.
Yeah, I actually liked that. That was something I said I liked, that he has his helmet on like the whole fucking time. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, and he emotes around it like physically.
Yeah, the camera works, the music works, the reactions, the way his posture is. Like, there's a lot of ways to convey emotion without seeing the facial expression. How close the camera is, and there's a lot of tricks.
Yeah, so it's a cop out when they do that stuff.
Yeah, but that's what
especially Cad Bane. Cad Bane was CGI. You can't emote with that kind of face. At best, you would get
many expressions. It wasn't on for very long.
At best, you could do like a Green Goblin prototype mask from Spider-Man 1, which wasn't bad, but it'd be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles type of technology.
Well, they like to make everything nanotech now.
Yeah. But so the Inquisitors, like, right away, you got 3 of them intimidating this POC Asian bartender, and
which we thought was funny by that point, because we were like, okay, with the Jedi that they showed at the school, getting the younglings and the Padawan teacher, that was like, I think those were all like POC, just like there wasn't any white, and then you go to this bar thing, and it's like the Asian bartenders getting messed with, and then the Inquisitors that are all also diverse as well. It's just like, fine. It's fine that is, but it's just kind of interesting because it's like a obvious, we must have as much as we can in this show is with this. That's what that feels like.
Yeah, and
none of them are freaking aliens, which is also annoying.
Yeah, it's just people. I mean, well, let's think. The only aliens you see are Lucas era aliens. Like they
Yeah.
don't even try. That's what's annoying.
Yeah, even the
Like,
Grand Inquisitor is, like you said, he's like tattooed in a weird shape head, kind of. But like put a
yeah,
hat on and he'll blend in pretty well. Just a weird skin color, but
yeah,
for him
it's just oh my god.
being like pale and green. But anyway, I guess that nothing significant happens there. The Padawan runs away anyway. They just kind of let him go. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. I'm trying to see. So they do. I'm trying to see what this science is. Maybe it's Reva takes
She was trying to
management.
kill him. She was just trying to kill him, which would
Yeah,
be
and
dumb because if he can get more information or if Vader can, there's a lot of things there with that.
well, I mean, maybe she has promise. Her temper. That's like giving in to emotion. So that's a good starting point for a Sith. But she doesn't have restraint enough for a long game.
Yeah, I guess what's disappointing is like I thought it would have been an interesting combo if like the Grand Inquisitor is like the more composed, obviously experienced like person out of this that we get the point of view from, and she is like fresh out of the I was gonna say out of the oven. I don't know an example here. She's fresh Inquisitor, and she's like eager to do whatever, and so she's very irrational, and like she's clearly wrong on how she's doing a lot of things for now. And throughout the show, maybe she gets fucking better than him. I don't fucking know. But starting her out like this is just very weird because like I feel like the characters are saying she's in the wrong, but I feel like the show is saying she's in the right as far as her actions, like as far as how she's going about it. If you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when like
Well, it's like
she's like, oh, we need to stop being so soft. And it's like, well, you're not being soft. You're trying to get if this Jedi has more knows where other ones are, you can you know what I mean? It's kind of obvious stuff here with a
yeah.
lot of
So we're
that.
at the 12-minute mark is when we first get to Obi-Wan.
Our breakdowns
And
are very slow.
and I assume we're at a given watching The Mandalorian. I assume this is a crate dragon that I guess died or that was killed, and they're harvesting its meat. That's what it seems like.
But something puts it into brick shapes. I don't know what, but it's all right, I guess. I kind of like the idea of like if there's a huge animal and they can just have these like quick little makeshift assembly lines to bust out the food. I guess that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how the fuck the desert has all these gigantic creatures when it's like this planet cannot be like lush with life. Are you kidding me? Like that lush with these huge creatures everywhere?
Yeah, like one of the biggest
That's confusing to
animals.
me.
Normally, at least in like America, well, not America, but one of the biggest animals you see is like a fennec fox, maybe a mule deer. But you got to think how many miles one mule deer has. Like nature allots to it to survive because it's got to wander so far to find vegetation to live on, and
Yeah.
and or water spots. So, you think of something bigger than a sperm whale digging through the desert like Tremors,
Yeah.
and somehow it's grown that big. Even if you're talking about it lives for thousands of years, it's like, how does it get that big?
I feel like even a graboid would struggle to fucking, have food source. Like, Jesus, there's not that much around there on this planet. And then there's that thing that Boa took down, and it's the sand.
Oh yeah, that
and
Star Trek
like,
monster.
It's just like, man, why are all these? How can these things be that big and survive? Like, there's the banthas, I guess, are the best game on the planet as far as like they're like buffalo, but I don't know. They don't seem to be killed in mass quantities either. So
yeah,
I don't know.
but,
Anyway, sorry, it's a side tangent.
So yeah, what's funny is, you see Obi-Wan is on this assembly line cutting up crate dragon meat bricks, and he gets the same setup as Rey Skywalker in Force Awakens, where it's like, let me do all this shit work, and then I'm getting like
1/4 portion.
I'm getting shafted. Yeah, when he's like, it's worth 1/4 portion. It's like, that's half it was last week. And it's like, oh, be thankful I'm giving you that. And that's the setup he gets. And then he gets on the train back home or whatever.
Well, it's the guy in front of him, but we assume it's the same to him, basically. But yeah.
Yeah, then he gets on a train. He's going, I guess, home or at least closer to home to like some hub that everyone goes to, like public transit, and he's just like to himself. And it's like, okay, this is a good little setup here.
Yeah.
Even though it's customary now for Star Wars.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess it's a train back to town. He takes his episode 1 poop camel from
yes, it's a poopy camel
from the pod race. He rides it home, which is weird because he feeds it crate dragon meat. So it's like, oh,
is it a carnivore?
Yeah,
it's just like with the bantha, it's like carnivores. What? I'm surprised the animals aren't just solar powered right now. You know, just there's nothing else to fucking eat.
That would actually be smart. That they would be like photosynthesizing.
Yeah,
that's the one thing in abundance.
And that'd be an interesting type of creature on an alien planet. But anyway, it's like, well, just real quick, because when you said it was like The Force Awakens, you and I were immediately like, oh my god, like they're just like copying themselves now.
They've gutted Star Wars so bad they have to copy sequel trilogy stuff now.
Which is funny because that opening part with Rey in Force Awakens was like the only part that I was like, yeah, it's not that bad, you know, as far as like her character.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's a nice little intro.
First like 30 minutes of Force Awakens is like I can watch today and I'm like, man, it's still good. Like what went from they had it was working.
Yeah, in a way. So I forget. So Kenobi goes on his train or his bus.
He goes
from
a train to the town to get on his poop camel to go home.
Yeah,
and then
he used to do a lot of transportation shifting. Jesus.
And so, well, I mean, that's how poor people sometimes got to deal with shit. It's like, all right, I got to get on like this train to then get to this hub to go to this train to go home.
It's just weird being on a desert one having that much. I guess it's not like a city.
Yeah.
City. I don't know. But
yeah,
anyway.
He comes home and then there's a Jawa. That's like, hey, I got this stuff, and it's like, at first because of Mandalorian Boba Fett, I thought, oh, this is his girlfriend Jawa. Or boyfriend, whatever.
And it's Disney, so why not, right? He's dating the minority.
Like, I was thinking, well, if it's a girl, is she furry? Like the boy Jawas are insinuated to be? Just a little funny thing. But, yeah, it's offering, you know, hey, you want to buy the shit I found? Because I'm a scavenger creature. And he makes some insinuation that, like, could you at least clean my shit that you stole from me before you sell it back to me? I thought that was funny.
The cleaning's extra.
Yeah, it's like, God, they're really gouging them. But, you know, the fun little thing, like, okay, we're in Star Wars. It's Obi-Wan, and he's living in a shithole on a shithole outer rim planet.
Yeah, this was a nice subtle joke, kind of.
It's a nice little reason to us for seeing his, like, mundane existence post-fall of the Jedi in his own exile and hermitage. And it's like, not bad.
It's a step up from Luke's.
Yeah, and he's, you know, troubled with, you know, his experiences from the prequels.
Naturally.
And let me see. He wakes up, and this next day...
Doesn't he have a weird dream or something?
Yeah, okay, so this next day, now he's, like, checking on Luke. He sees Luke playing around. This is where you get the binoculars meme.
Yep.
And yeah, got Owen Lars working on his moisture farm, which is, now that I'm older and I pay attention, it's like moisture farming. He's like, how did I miss that joke all these years?
Yes.
But yeah, he just, you know, watches over Luke like a creep sometimes, and he leaves a T-16 toy for Luke. So that's
no, not a T-16 toy, the T-16 toy.
Whatever. Right? I assume these are sold at toy stores in Star Wars. So
Well,
it's
no, but I'm saying no, but
1816.
I'm saying it because it's a soloism where it's
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, the dice.
you remember the toy that Luke plays with for like 3 seconds, or just I don't know, in the thing. Well, now here it is. Look, it's from Obi-Wan as
You know,
well.
it's funny
It's like
because the same
okay.
people that will be like, "It's so deep. Look what Disney did." They're the same people that cry about Lucas tying loose ends from the two trilogies, where it's like, "Oh, Anakin made C-3PO," and they go,
Right.
"Ree," but then Star Wars Disney's like, "Oh yeah, the T-16. It's so deep. Obi-Wan gave it to him," and it's like, that's so gay. Like
To me, that
it's
just makes the world even smaller again, kind of a thing. Where it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like
Not to say that
he didn't build it himself, or he didn't buy it at the store himself. It's just like no, it's Obi-Wan. Okay,
yeah, and it's like he just has it already. It's not you don't even see the moment where it's like, I
there's
don't
no
know.
mean attached to it. It's just
There's no
there
meaning
now.
to it. There's no like, oh, Obi-Wan actually knows Luke. He's had these like brief interactions that have left an effect for him to be affectionate. You know, but you
It
gotta
just
think this is the spawn of Satan in Star Wars.
it
This
just
is
it just
the
no. It's
son of Luke
also
Sky of Anakin.
it makes it dumber because the freaking model thing had no significance anyway. But in this, they're like giving it screen time, like more than it. Like before he was just contemplating and just doing that for a sec, and then
That
he's
was
done.
passive because he's like,
And
I
it's
want to be a pilot. Here is a toy plane.
right. And this is like I am watching him. I want to give him a toy, and it's like they're giving it more screen time than it needs, more attention than this stupid toy needs now. It's not. You're not giving it the meaning it should be with any of it. And they
Yeah,
actually showing Luke, like pretending to pilot on the house or something. That's fine. That alone is fine. Like that's like, oh yes, of course he wants to freaking fly. Great, but I don't know.
yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
I don't
like
have much more to comment on.
even if you think C-3PO being made by Anakin stupid, at least it has a purpose aside from tying loose ends. That beforehand you would think, oh well, like there's protocol droids, so he's just existed and he happens to come into the story and be a main character. But at least it makes sense why Anakin would even make C-3PO because it was to help his mom around the house. So he was just going off of protocol droids and he works in a scrapyard. It all makes sense and has
Well, and it
layers.
shows us how ingenuitive that this boy can be. It's like obviously he's you know skilled at this, which people could say that that's ridiculous how he's that talented, but it's like I don't know. It's
Yeah. Well, it's
something.
also I don't know how to articulate it, but it could be kind of like how Maul gets severely maimed, Grievous is almost completely robotics, and Dooku was um, high honor in the Jedi, then he fell and betrayed the Jedi. They're all like shades of Vader, and maybe that was like a little hint, an abstract hint by Lucas. That even at a young age, like he's
He's gonna have a lot of
predisposed to
robotics.
robotics
They're
and
right.
whatnot. I don't know. I've never thought about
He's
that
gonna become a
before.
walking Radio Shack at some point, so
Yeah, but that could
he's
that could
familiar.
be a layer to that as well. That's
It
not
could be.
obvious,
That could
but
be.
there's a lot of depth
Yeah.
for that to be a loose end even tie up versus this is like, oh, this toy that meant nothing is now they're trying to add meaning. It's like what?
But it's like they're not like with Solo's name, like with giving Chewie his belt and his
Han
nickname as well. I'm gonna tell you,
Solo.
your name is too long, Chewbacca. I shall call you a shorter name than that. Yeah, so those are what we call meaningless things to do. Like don't. But there's things. What's funny, like I said, you could add meaning to that, just that little pilot thing to the thing. You could add meaning to it, but they don't do that well at all. Like they really don't. Like what if Luke is like trying to build one, like a little model himself, but he's missing parts, and then Obi-Wan's does his little job. You know what I mean? Like you could do something to give meaning, and then as he's doing his mission thing, gets stolen, and at some point he gets it back, whatever. And it's like he gets it to Luke. It's like okay, well there's a little more there then. Hooray! You know that'd be something.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure I was popping up.
Star Wars is so shit. I hate saying it, but it's true. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty much fact right now. But it's like, so even if it's shit, I like talking about it as far as like what it does good or bad in general with a lot of things. Like, you know, even like The Boys or whatever. Like we'll be doing that soon. Oh, that's starting. I can't wait for that to start. Fuck yeah. Um,
Cobra Kai.
there's Cobra Kai as well. Like, man, there's a lot of, you know, I want to see if that show keeps its quality or if it starts to decline or not. But it's like, yeah, regardless of how shit Star Wars gets, it's interesting to talk about how bad they do some stuff or how good they do some stuff, because again, there's hints of good stuff or things that they could have just tweaked to make good, but they don't. And
Here's the
yeah,
thing. I would rather talk the rest of my life about how bad Last Jedi is than talk about how good Star Trek is at its high points.
yes.
That shows you like the quality.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Star Trek was good for decades and now it sucks. I don't care.
I saw
It wasn't interesting when it was good.
I saw a meme, Angus, that you might appreciate too, where it's like it shows Star Trek. It shows Star Trek in like a quote where they're like, you know, as we discover new life, we must not interact with the planets and affect their civilization. And then they show Stargate. All your gods are fake. Take some guns. It's like that show is awesome, Stargate, because it's like literally they go to every planet they can trying to get people to fight aliens. Like that's the whole premise of the show.
Sounds like a complex allegory made by white supremacists to promote the system of the Border Patrol.
Probably,
which
but
is
still good. Still good though. But
see, I can just make up crap, and now I'm a PhD.
Yeah, why not?
Boom.
Why not?
That was my thesis.
Well, you'll be quoted now. You'll be quoted and stuff, and it all makes sense. We're really slow at breaking down these episodes.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to unpack with little shit, you know.
You and I like to expand on little shit in general.
Dude,
because
people watch 10-hour Mauler shit, so fuck off.
Okay. You're good. So so after he does the binocular meme, where do we go after that?
He's wandering back home after creeping on Luke, and then the escaped Jedi accosted by the Inquisitors. And it's like, hey, I need your help, Obi-Wan. He's like, go away. Like,
fuck off, kid. Yeah, this guy. So you got to think. So when 10 years ago, this was probably one of the younglings, I assume. Like must have been like, 12-year-old or something. And so he must have heard of Obi-Wan. He's like the only Jedi to kill Sith, pretty much. And it's like, okay, wow, you're Obi-Wan. So we should be able to like do something. Obi-Wan's like, get the fuck away from me, turd. It's like, no.
Honestly, I'm watching this and I see the parallels of him and Luke Skywalker from Last Jedi, and I'm like, this is appropriate.
It's like, yeah, in this
Jake
context,
Skywalker out of this guy.
He's here for a purpose
because he failed. So this is like their last shot in the dark as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he literally failed, and he's here for a reason, like to protect this kid. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I'm just thinking of Jake Skywalker. He's like, oh, you just expect me to grab my laser sword and take on the First Order? Oh, the hero Luke Skywalker. Blah. And it's like, if he just said Obi-Wan, and he's like contemplating, because this guy's like, come on, Obi-Wan, you can help save the day. And he's like, oh yeah,
let me just take my laser sword.
I was just, I was like third in command at the Jedi Temple. I was the hot shit. I took down Grievous and helped destroy the Confederate.
Take down Dooku and Maul and oh my god.
And I helped train our downfall. So fuck off.
And I've got his spawn, of which he has the highest potential out of all you fucks. So
yeah,
bye.
This would make perfect sense to Jake Scott. So if people are like, oh, they're Jake Skywalker and Obi-Wan, it's like, well, this makes sense to do that.
And at least he's not tiddly sucking on milk. So.
Hey, we got 4 episodes to go, my friend.
Though he might have some Jawa action.
He's got a poop camel from episode 1.
Maybe Jawa action, poop camel. You're right. My bad.
Plenty of time to milk green titty.
I shouldn't jump ahead.
Why did Luke know to go to Octu? Maybe Obi-Wan sucked on the green titty milk first.
The great god titty milk. But So so the Jedi thing is like he's got all this hope. He's like, but the fight is still on, you know. And Obi-Wan's like, not, we lost, dude. Like, we're done. And he's like, you suck, Obi-Wan, sort of. And then he runs away. And it's like, okay, I get that, but it's like, is there not? I'm confused if there's a rebellion at this point or not, like at all.
I
Like,
don't think so,
I would
because I want
assume
to
there's at least
say,
I would assume there's some in the shadows, like that are forming, but not like a full force yet. I would think.
oh yeah, I'm sure Organa's and Mon Mothma have been like, whispering, but
So
I
that's
want to
what's
say like
implied.
Rebels takes place, I want to say like 5 years before Episode 4. So
Yeah, they make them pretty close to that, and Rogue One and stuff.
so this is roughly 10 years before
Yeah.
Episode 4.
I'm surprised
So
we didn't see. Maybe we'll see Dexter Diner in the next episode on Coruscant or something.
dude, I would love that.
We'll see Dexter. Yeah, Dex doing his
I never
thing.
even realized he had a mustache. It's like a cool little detail I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like I just thought it was part of his skin or something, and then I was like, oh, it's like, hey, he's a cook or whatever at a diner, and he's got a stash.
Yeah.
It's weird because he's an alien. So
Yeah.
but I like
Yeah.
those little
When you
details.
an alien, wow, I'd like to see one of these things in this fucking universe. Jesus.
Oh,
We're
I
on
love
Earth.
sci-fi. Wow, maybe they'll do an alien in a sci-fi.
Maybe they'll get off of Earth and go to an alien planet one of these days.
It's just so annoying because they do Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my god. It gets worse when you have more context.
Even if like Guardians doesn't have super amazing aliens, they at least have like some things that don't look human immediately. so it's like, oh, thank you. At least there's that. But anyway, so he's fucking. Where are we at?
So now we cut to Leia on Alderaan, which Alderaan looks so beautiful.
Yeah, well, Alderaan looks like a nice little place to live,
and
but not forever.
There's something going on. People got to meet or some shit.
It's like a royal gathering of some kind, or political royal. I don't know.
So they're dolling up Leia in her outfit, and it turns out she got some alien friend, which looks like a weird, just grandma human kid alien. I don't know.
Benjamin Button, baby.
It doesn't really look like, wow, what an interesting alien. It looks like, yeah, you got a day to make an alien mask for a little girl, and they're like, let's just put a grandma
It's
mask
literally
on
no different than the Grand Inquisitor, where it's like, it's just a few wrinkles and tattoos and paint the skin a little. It's all that is. And it honestly, so I was confused. I was like, so did all the people dolling her up like not know that wasn't Leia, or were they in on it and just
well, I mean, Leia is like a princess, Mom. So it's like, oh, she could be like in Game of Thrones when Tyrion he mentions where he got caught. He lied about some help stealing from the kitchen or something, and the penalty's supposed to be like losing a hand, and he confessed, and it's like, so his dad only cut her pinky off. And it's like, it could be like that, where it's like, oh, she's really nice, but you never know when she can become like Joffrey Baratheon and like slaughter me. So I'm not going to say no to the princess. But yeah, she goes off and she's playing with her little ladybug droid, which I thought was pretty cute.
I figured like that's going to be a toy. There's going to be another toy.
Dude, I want that ladybug droid.
Looks like a flying CD player.
It looks so fun and cute.
Looked like a flying CD player that you'd get in Spy Kids too.
Yeah, it looks like if you took like a miniaturized like R2D2 head off of a toy, but it like kind of flies. It's got little wings.
Little ladybug. Like,
yeah. It's kind of like a mix between like an R2D2 head and the Jedi Fallen Order droid on his arm. It's kind of like blended, like, so like it's the weird thing. The thing that Disney knocks out of the ballpark with Star Wars is making cutesy little droids.
Yeah, make one like a ball, make one like a hair dryer, make one like a little bug. There you go. Kids will love it.
And then they made his like Nazi counterpart, whatever,
I forgot about that one.
In episode, I was thinking of episode 8, the one that foils him. And they got the one from Fallen Order. Now they got the lady droid. So they got some cute. And they got K2SO, which he was.
Yeah, that was kind of
not
plain,
that character.
Yeah,
wasn't cute, but he was a good personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chopin gets foiled. They bring her back in, and I cut to
She like climbs a tree or
again.
something. It's like showing she's like an adventurous
She
little
can't be
frog.
tamed. She's a strong female
This
character.
princess can't just sit in the politic chair. She's got to climb trees.
Wait. Hold on. I got to back up to get the context of this really quick. Let me unmute this for myself.
Climb the trees. Yeah, Angus has the video up or whatever on his end so that he can help guide us through as we break down what's going on here with that. And he was just laughing at something, which I don't know what it is because I don't see it.
Okay. There's this redhead, white, older lady that talks back to Reva when she's like saying like, "You hear anything, you see anything, you're gonna tell us." And the woman's like, "This is the Outer Rim. You don't have any law here. Screw you." And so Reva's like, "Oh," just fucking chops her hand off in front of the town.
Right? Yeah, you don't remember that?
Well, it was just like, oh, we're here. There's a lot to unpack because you got to think there's like 40 years plus of investment, in this universe, and this is a new piece in the middle, and it's like a hodgepodge of original trilogy, prequel trilogy, fucking Rebels, Clone Wars.
Yeah, this is the like weirdest melting pot of Star Wars. This is a weird mix. A weird mixed drink.
A lot of context going on here.
That's a good point. That's a good point, actually.
So
but yeah. So you're right. So yeah, the lady's like, "Hey, fuck you guys," and then they just chop her hands off, and it's like, oh, was it one hand or two hands?
No, just the one hand.
Okay, so like in a way, I kind of give them that, I guess, because I feel like it's been a while since like a character lost a limb. But then again, it was an unimportant character, so it's kind of lame. But okay, yeah, you chop the bitch's hand off. Okay. Well, because that's funny too. It's like we're in the Outer Rim. There's no law here. Okay, so I'll just cut your hand off because no fucking law against it. Fuck you. Kind of
someone call a social worker.
A Jabba the Hutt? No, no. Well, he's dead. But so what?
Yeah, so they're just like yammering on something with Owen Mars.
So she goes on like she just like randomly yells at the street. She's like, "Hey, where's the Jedi guys? Huh? You know something, huh?" And then she just like goes up to Owen and it's like, "I bet you know him. Where is he?" And then I'm gonna kill this guy. And then one of the Inquisitors is like, "Stop it, bitch!" And then she's like, "We gotta be more mean." And it's like, well. Okay, but you're just randomly attacking people pretty much. It's just like, what are you getting with this? Just the way you're doing it is retarded. Like, you gotta be more clever on fleshing them out. It's like, no, I'm doing it right. It's like,
I mean, honestly, this is what I hate about the dichotomy of Jedi Sith, especially at Disney. So they don't get it, is like both sides of the poles of force use, light and dark, the extremes, both have a value in the force. Like the power is there for a reason. Like lightning or manipulate whatever, it's like not inherently evil, even if it's like a dark side spectrum. Unfortunately, dark side, light side's been conflated with good and evil, and they don't show like what's supposed to be a balance. There's a use for both sides. And so it makes for very wooden, one-dimensional kind of like storytelling. And it's like, wouldn't it make more sense, like when you get further, if you're like nice, like despite the evils you could say the Empire did, like they brought order, they brought continuity, they brought a farther-reaching system of order for the galaxy.
Well, yeah, it's like if they brought incentives for people to want to give it willingly, especially taking advantage that it's a backwater desert fucking planet. It's like, oh yes, look, we brought in some fresh food. Ooh, wow, you guys haven't seen that before, have you? We just killed a crate dragon that's fucking huge. Oh, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it really feels like they're setting Reva up like Captain Marvel, where it's like you're too emotional. And like she's actually being emotional and reckless, versus that one where it's like you never really got that, but then everyone's saying she is, and she's like I'm going to embrace my emotions. Screw you, males.
Yeah, and it's like the way that it's showing is that whatever she's doing is getting results, and what they're doing is not, or they're taking credit for what she does. And it's just kind of like already, like with these characters they're introducing, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like I feel like her character maybe just I don't know what they want to do with this character. She's just an angry. She's not a fun character to watch, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Like
No,
Dooku is
dude.
Dooku is interesting. Darth Maul was interesting. Grievous was weird but interesting. There's all these characters that were interesting to take a look at. With her, I'm just like, I mean, I want you to get off the screen, please. But like like even the Asian Inquisitor dude, the whatever, it seemed like he's got something, that could be more characteristic. I don't know, like he's hesitant to just kill people, but obviously he's an Inquisitor that would kill people, but different way going about it.
Yeah, like they just got a bad actress. Like it's not even. I can separate actor from like I can separate them on screen versus their real selves. Where apparently Moses Ingram is like real SJW and virtue sitting about racist Star Wars fans. Now she was cautioned from even coming to Star Wars because of the racist blah 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 narrative. I can ignore that, but it's like she just seems like a real bitch on screen, and not just because she's playing like a dark side. It's just like she looks like she'd be a real just joy to work with. Like
one of
I
those
literally
sassy,
work
one of
with a
those sassy
diversity.
attitude.
Yeah, I work with a diversity hire who should be fired for almost hurting people, but because she's a POC and a lesbian, that's a double whammy of oppression points. You can't fire that.
I guess here's a good
If
example.
they
I
would have
guess with
cast the black girl from WandaVision, that plays like the
Monica or
daughter of
whatever.
Monica Rambeau, like
Yeah,
she's enjoyable. Like she's pretty. She smiles sometimes when it's appropriate for the screen time,
yeah.
and she doesn't seem like a bitch, like a real cunt
Yeah,
on
I was
screen.
gonna say Riva reminds me of Kylo Ren when he has a tantrum. Like she's just like, we're trying to find the Jedi. It's like that's not intimidating. But then you have like Vader or Dooku or them who can talk chill and can still have like venom in their voice or like some fear in the room, intimidation. It's like the calmness of their presence, but it's like an eerie, like, oh man, if one wrong
Well,
move and I could be fucked. That's where with her, she's like just in your face and yelling, and it's like, okay, like,
yeah, and it's annoying too because like Dooku is on the side of evil, but he's not like dreadful.
he's
He's
like a
not just
gentleman
he's
essentially.
not angry. Like he's gone on what we consider, given our perspective into the realm, a evil character, and he's doing evil, but he's got these he's doing it for a good for
like
the universe.
he's trying to have as few casualties as he can is what it seems
Yeah,
like. He's like, I want us to all get along here, just please listen to our perspective,
yeah, he's
okay?
a ends justify the mean kind of power guy.
Yeah, it's like if
And
Padme has to die so that I can have my deal with the Viceroy, well, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna have to kill
yeah,
you.
and it doesn't seem like he's like, I'm out for revenge
He's
and
not
life's
enjoying
just
it either.
dreary and dreadful. Um, you know, Anakin, of course, clearly he's been like manipulated. And he's paid the price. He's lost his family. At
Yeah,
least he
he's
thinks.
been drugged through the mud with
So
everything.
yeah, like that's one angle. But like, I hate how they just there's no kind of like
Well,
enjoyment
it's like
for like Disney bad guys. There's no like, oh, I'm being bad and I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah, well, Darth Maul didn't seem like he was having fun or that he was angry or anything. He just seemed like he was like a monk, literally. Just
Oh
I am
yeah,
going. But his face, like imagine him going to the people on the streets and like somebody else is like, "Hey, tell us where the Jedi are," and he's just looking at people, like not even getting in their face, just look. I'd be like, dude, that dude's looking, he's looking around. Like, fuck,
well, the thing with
what's he gonna
Maul,
do?
at least the expanded universe stuff, he was taken when he was like 3, so he's been manipulated since he was a infant in this viewpoint, in this pathology with the emperor that like takes no actual care with him. He's just a tool. He's just something at hand. So it makes sense that he would be this like one-dimensional viewpoint.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because he's essentially a cult member. He's a cult underling versus like Dooku is from a totally different mindset, and he sees like, oh, we're being corrupted and blinded, and they won't listen. So I'm gonna go to the other side, and maybe I can work on the outside to change.
Yeah, using both perspectives that I can understand. Maybe I can help shape a better in between type of thing.
And Palpatine, he plays the long game. Like if he was
the very patient game.
And it's like if he was just out to destroy everything, he's out to destroy the Jedi, not to destroy the universe.
He probably could have killed Yoda on many occasions.
And so, like, clearly he has good intent, or at least in his viewpoint, good intent to like cleanse the universe, whether it's genocide or if it's just like control.
Yeah.
But like, he's not. You never watch Palpatine. You're like, wow, he's just like. He's so in the dumps. He's just, he's being.
He's happy. He's having a great fucking time. He's having a great time with everything.
He's working hard. He's working hard though. That's the thing that I hate with Disney stars. Like they're so one dimensional. They play into like the Disney cartoon. Like, oh, the evil guy's in a damp, cold cave, and he likes to eat rotten bread, and he just life sucks. And I'm gonna make everyone else hurt because I had there's no range to bad guys.
Something wrong to me. I hate everything. It's like, even Grievous is intimidating with like his scale. He's like, and it's like, what is this mechanical monster here?
He's clever.
What is this guy?
He
cracks jokes, and it's like, wait, you crack jokes? You what? How are you the one that cracks the jokes? What? Like. I thought someone with your reputation would be older. Jedi slime. And it's like, he's the one that has the quips, and it's like, him? That works with him in a weird way. That works for him because he's like also intimidating in that he can just fucking slice y'all down. And it's like, okay, like this guy, there's good. We named like what, over 7 characters that can be imposing or intimidating in their own ways. And it's like, and all these Inquisitors are just like, dude,
Jabba the Hutt, he's not even a force user or a lightsaber welder. Doesn't even pick up a weapon, and he's interesting and he takes pleasure. Like he literally pays a bounty hunter to catch a guy, to not kill him, to make him a trophy and laugh at him at his like party lounge. And he's got a little evil little gremlin, Salacious Crumb, is just like he's just
Dr. Evil. He's the proto Dr. Evil. He's the inspiration for Dr. Evil.
That's what's annoying, is like there's no sense of like I'm enjoying being good at being. It's like I'm really good at being an Inquisitor and life sucks. It's like, what's the draw to this?
Yeah, thank you. That's actually probably the best like way to put it, is like none of them ever seem happy that they're in this line of work, or
we help the Empire.
Like, it should be like, this is, you guys should be thankful that the Empire doesn't always come over to your neck of the woods here. But if you were to just think of how prosperous you'd be if you joined us, if you allowed us to join
guys,
if
you think from like American Christian, Judeo-Christian ideals, the good guys have restraint in some way. They don't indulge in some way. That's kind of always the crux that defines American good guys versus their bad peers. And so you would think someone like Jabba, where they indulge either in gluttony or in money or like whoring or something, where it's like, I'm bad, I got all these bitches in my palace, or something like Hugh Hefner. That should be what the bad guys are, where it's like they indulge. The only thing you get with the bad guys in Star Wars, especially with Disney, is I'm bad, and so I kill people. And it's like, but do you like killing people? Are you like Deadpool or something? But no, it's just I kill people and dark side, and like that's it. It's like, what? Vader, he's like, oh, we'd be pleased if you join us for dinner. It's like, haha. Joke, because you're my prisoner. You have no choice, buddy.
No disintegration. It's like the way he's, even though he's intimidating or enforceful or whatever, he seems like he's okay in his lifestyle right now. He's okay doing. He's glad he's got things to do. You know, he's like, this is something. He's like, step aside. Let me get in the pilot seat because you guys fucking suck. Let me get into it. You know,
Yeah, it feels like Vader,
literally.
Even though there's a turning point where he's like, we can overthrow the Emperor and do it better, and we can do his father and son. Like he clearly believes, even though he hates the Emperor or wants to overthrow him because of the power of two, he believes in the cause of the Emperor and wants to take over and do it himself. Like he thinks it's a good, he's doing a good thing. So there's like an initiative, there's a motivation. And it's like I see these Inquisitors, it's like, what is the motivation? It's like they don't even seem happy if they're succeeding. And that's the problem. Because it's like there should be a draw to bad guys where it's like, yeah, they're bad, but I'd like to like reap the benefits.
Especially if these were once Jedi. It's like, that would be interesting to see their motivation. Like even if it's, oh yeah, well if they didn't do it, they'd be killed. Okay, but I'm sure that after 10 years there'd be something else there.
Wait, Chronic Costume Production, you said just heard some of that at Maple Park Church Day. What do you mean?
I'm not sure what he's referring to specifically. I don't know. But what's up, man? What's up? I'm glad that you're stopping by. Hope you're doing good, man.
But yeah.
Okay, so
Leia gets captured. Which is funny because at some point they're like looking off.
Well, no, she doesn't get captured yet. That's further ahead, actually.
The royals come. They're having a party or shindig, and then at some point Leia's on the balcony, and Organa goes out there with her, and he says something about like, oh, the future of Alderaan is going to be in your hands.
The future ruler of Alderaan or something. And
something to them, and I was just like, I literally laughed. Because it's like, it's not going to go well.
It's like for us where they go, that's not true. That's not true.
Psych!
Yep, it's like they have a fortune teller. How prosperous will Alderaan be in the next 10 years? What's Alderaan in 10 years? What do you mean? The whole planet. It's like, not anymore.
Let's see, fast forward. So then Leia's playing around, going off her own again, and I don't remember why, or if we find out why. I don't know if I think Reva set this up. She sends assassins or kidnappers, or whatever. They catch Leia. All the people are pissed off that 3 guys can't catch Leia. They try to make it seem like the kind of like trope of like, oh, kids are smaller so they can go through smaller spaces that foil adults.
Well, hold on. So real quick, so they show her like outsmart or like show that she's somewhat intelligent in like political world, sort of. Like she understands some of that stuff. Yeah, and then she gets chased. Like these guys are also like within 5 feet of her, and then they let her run, and then like keep going.
Yeah, so it's definitely not delivered well to believe like, wait, you couldn't catch her? Come on. But they do some of the kid shenanigans of her like being small, getting in places they can't, and but they do catch her nonetheless. Tie her up, got her on a ship, and let me see. And so because of this, simultaneously Obi-Wan is in town after his transit from the meat conveyor belt in the desert making spam, and I guess they found the Jedi Padawan and they hung him up in the street for all to see. And Obi-Wan goes home. He's like, whatever. And Organa ends up being there. And he's like, hey, I need your help, buddy. My kid's been taken. And he's like, oh, okay. And so,
he's been really stubborn about it for a little while. He's like, I can't do it. I'm watching the boy.
And he's like, well, I don't care about the girl. Screw Luke. Okay, I'll go find her. Even though our whole setup was you take her, hide her as your adopted daughter on Alderaan, and we'll hide this boy on the desert his father hates. So he'd never think to come here. And eventually agrees. So then he goes out in the desert and digs up a box at the right coordinates. And it's got not only his, but Anakin's lightsaber. And then you have the reveal that Reva, through communications, Reva, it's like, yeah, go to this place with the kid. And so Obi-Wan gets on a transport and in show. That's episode 1.
Wow.
I don't really got nothing to say about the rest of the stuff. It's just all the crap before. It's like first episode. It's all over the place. That's the thing. Is like I can't get a tone from this. I can't get, aside from the Reva shoehorning in. It's just like, where are we going?
It literally goes from haha and then serious and then haha serious haha serious, and I'm like, what? Like. When she's running away, I thought it would, if they wanted to have a funny comedic scene of some kind, like maybe if she was in the trees and they're trying to catch her, and then she's like jumping, swinging around, and they're like bigger and falling off the branches or some shit, and like that could have been maybe funnier and make more sense, but I don't know. That's what they're going for anyway. Yeah, he leaves. So when they show the Jedi being hung and all that stuff, that was like some of the straws that are breaking the camel's back for him, because Owen's like, "Fuck you, Obi-Wan," and then oh, the Jedi got killed there, and whatever, and so it's like, oh no, and Organa needs my help. Okay, I'll go be of some use now, I guess. And then he leaves. Yep. Well, that took us a long time to get through episode 1.
Well, I mean, think how long it was to like make this and all the wrong choices they made.
Which is funny too, because ultimately, like, not much happens in this first episode. It's like they show the Order 66 thing, and then they show Obi-Wan do his own thing. We show Leia get captured, and then he goes and he leaves the planet to find Leia. The Inquisitors are just kind of douchey a little bit, and that's about all that we have in the first episode, but it's like an hour long.
Yeah. Let me step out really quick. I just got to grab a bottle of water out of the fridge.
All right, cool. Getting some refreshments. Yeah, sorry guys, it's taking a while. The future streams that we do for this will probably be, a little over an hour as well or something. Yeah, we don't really have like a time limit on any of these, so that is good. That is good. But yeah, getting with the first 2 episodes dropping on that day, we watched them both right away, and we're chilling with those. Yeah, we're not good at getting videos out instantly, so it's not really our style. We don't mind talking about these here and there, of course. Got your refreshments all ready there, boy?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, I may need to go watch it before I get all spoiled. Well, I mean, I don't recommend watching it, but if you want to, go ahead, man. If you plan on watching it, then I guess, yeah, we're spoiling it quite a bit. But otherwise, you can just hear what we're saying about it and decide if you want to watch it or not. Whatever you feel like, man. Whatever you feel like.
I just feel bad because I'm not attached to this character, but I am fond of the actor in his role in my Star Wars, the prequels. And I'm just like not mad so far because of the lack of attachment in that way, but just kind of flabbergasted. Like, we're doing this, like all the things you can do with this idea and the ability to like get this guy back at the right time and stuff, with an empire of Disney behind you to fund this stuff, and this is like what you're making. That's
embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing. Now, whenever you're ready, man, let's go through episode 2. I guess.
Yeah, so episode 2 starts, and he's going to Coruscant, and he lands from the transport. So this time around, I thought ahead and put the subtitles on so I can better get context. All right, so he's out of the transport now. He's trying to figure out like where should I start looking, and I don't know this guy's, but he's like Okay, so he's got a signature of the ship, and he knows it's there. So now he's trying to figure out, like, how do I find this?
Who finding whose ship?
Obi-Wan trying to find the ship that took Leia. I don't know exactly how Obi-Wan has the info. If it's from Organa, I don't know how Organa got the info for a ship that kidnapped his daughter.
I forget. They might have shown something. I just don't remember. He's just like, I guess I'm finding it now, and it's to Coruscant now. We're just over here. Fuck it. Like, I don't remember them showing how he knows any of that details either.
I'm assuming maybe Leia's got some sort of fob tech, like Baby Yoda when he's a bounty.
Maybe the ladybug or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. She's looking around, and then there's a clone trooper. Now that the Clone Wars are over and they're useless, you got an old Tamir Morrison clone with a beard holding out his helmet for
spare some change. Spare some change.
Spare some credits.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, that kind of role fits him now. That's the guy.
And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. And I think it's kind of a little tease like, hey, we're going to do Rex somewhere, probably in Ahsoka.
They'll probably kill him and just retcon him from whatever.
And so then they contrast it really quick with Obi-Wan passing stormtroopers, which is like, yeah, we're in a new era. Eventually, someone's trying to like sell him drugs. Like, you want some spice, old man?
Yeah, that there's a
wait. Okay, chick. So
the pink-haired chick's played by his real-life daughter, I think.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah. She reminded me entirely of the Vespa bikers on.
Oh yeah, we were like, oh no, not Vespas.
She reminded me of them entirely, the biker gang. It was like, oh no.
I mean, this kind of fits with Coruscant and the
those would fit. Those would fit better here, but I don't want to see it again now already so soon. Jesus, like,
yeah,
just get over that stuff.
She's like, I got Kessel Pure, Glitter Stem, and Felucian.
I did not hear that when we watched it.
Yeah, this is why you read subtitles.
What the fuck?
And he's like, how about some information? He's like, I'm looking for my daughter. And he's like, yeah, she's taken, and I know she's on this planet. And so at first they show us Black Kid, and you're thinking like, okay, this is gonna be some setup, and he's gonna get his lightsaber jacked from him or his credits
or something. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. And then the lightsaber ignites, and he kills himself by accident. Whoops!
Yeah,
what you get, Jimmy?
But then the Black Kid comes up and is like, hey, I know there's a Jedi. He helps people. Which is like, wait, it's weird.
It's also really dumb to be on Coruscant. And
you're on the capital planet after Order 66 that annihilated this order. And then this guy's like, he's just got kids who are like, yeah, there's a Jedi that'll help you. He helps people. And it's like, I feel like word would spread and someone would be like, hey, I can get money for information to the Empire. They
literally walked by stormtroopers seconds ago in the same alley. Like, what?
Yeah, this is an angle I never even picked up on the first time. It's like, wait a minute, this is stupid.
This is really stupid. Well, no, so when we were watching it, I was kind of like, when we saw what's his face, the Jedi guy, I was like, and he does the windows down, and then he does the quick little force thing with that, and then they pay him like, oh, he's fake. Like, this is obviously fake, and it's also really dumb setup. And there's a little kid outside that brought him. This is all fake. Like, obviously, to me, like, I've seen the setup before in lots of other stuff, and it's just kind of very uncreative, I guess, for them to have this same setup and on this planet with the history of this freaking world. That's so stupid. Really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, that's more stupid than if they just did it on another planet where they don't have this type of history. This is really dumb.
Yeah, this is something because the shit's going so quick and it's new. You don't process it right away. Especially with Disney, ever since JJ Force Awakens, they're doing this.
Yeah, move as fast as you can so nobody can think about what just happened. It's just next thing.
Don't think next thing. And yeah, but he's pulling this crap, the charade of being a Jedi, and you find out it's like so many credits for him to do anything for you.
He's like 500 credits, no 1,000, and then I might do a little bit more. He's like, oh, the light's very dim lately, huh? It's like, yeah, sure. And I do like, this is something that I actually liked in the show here, where Obi-Wan like just grabs his fucking throat. He's like, and he like points a blaster at him. He's like, yeah, I need to find this thing. And it's like, yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, you're just kind of getting right fucking to the point. You know, there's no sugarcoating. You're not, oh, can you please help me? Nope. Fucking tell me what I want to know. Like going
The thing,
Batman. Going
though,
Batman. I was like, ooh.
the thing though is, even though he's a charlatan, he clearly has to be doing something right to stay in business.
Right.
Because if he was a fraud completely, then he wouldn't be able to have word of mouth business.
Right. He still has some kind of connections with people and stuff.
Yeah. So, but you don't really see that follow through. This is just.
Yeah, not yet anyway. So, who knows?
Oh, yeah. It'll probably come up at the end and be like, oh, Reva and Brown Man saved the day for Obi-Wan.
And little black kid.
oh, dude, yeah, that'll be the new Broom Boy. Is this little black kid that told him about this fake Jedi?
When we saw the younglings, I was like a bunch of broom boys.
Which is funny. It's gonna be funny that this iconic Jedi of all time, one of the greatest Jedi of all time, and he gets a show, and he needs to get help from a fake Jedi.
Right. That sounds like that story or that comic that wanted to have like Jesus learn how to be a superhero from like a superhero on Earth or something. Sounds like that kind of a thing.
That's funny though.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, he goes and like, what happens after this? He just kind of finds the place. He finds the meth lab later, right?
Yeah, people probably memed it. Yeah, it's like, Jesse, we need to cook.
The Breaking Bad meth lab next. And then he finds the operation. He has to do some hand-to-hand fist fighting in a little hallway, which, again, I was kind of like, okay, nice. And he's not kicking their ass entirely. He does beat them, but he's like clearly rusty as fuck. And they do show that pretty well, which surprised me kind of. I'm like, that's like a good detail that is good to show. He's not in his prime anymore. He was jumping all over the place, kicking ass in the prequels, and now he's like in the middle where he's like he's still got skill, but he's rusty as fuck. Body's not as into it. He's getting a dad bod probably.
Yeah, sorry. I just noticed one part after the fake Jedi scene where he's standing outside and he's kind of trying to figure out where to go next, and he's like plant his beard, and it's like, oh, he did that in the prequels. People are gonna go like that O-face soy jacks pointing meme. We're like, yeah. Oh, I can just see all these weirdos like, oh my god, he did the thing like in the stuff that I'm pretending I liked, even though I hated it for years. And it's that little bullshit where it's like, okay, it's a nice little detail. It's something like when you watch the old Superman movie and it's like, oh, Clark Kent parts his hair this way, Superman parts it the other way. These are little things where you think he's a different guy. It's minor detail. It's not that important, but it shows a little bit of like attention to detail.
Yeah.
But like people are going to pretend this is great, but they don't appreciate the attention to detail where it's coming from. So it's annoying because it's like I picked him on it, but also it's like people are going to overhype that little detail. And it's like, well, I mean, if you have a beard, more than likely you twiddle your mustache or your chin whiskers. It's not a big deal. But
yeah, you're not breaking any film grounds here with that.
But yeah, he gets in and he puts on a meth lab suit. I guess they're making spice or something here. And
yeah, I kind of wish that the hazmat was a little more creative visually, but whatever, because it looks very much like it's from Earth. But whatever. Again, I don't think there was any aliens in the meth lab. I don't know if there was. I don't think there was.
No, there's like a mole face in the corner.
No, I guess I meant like any like obviously big or misplaced aliens. That's like like an Athosian. That'd be funny. It's like how does that work with you? Do you need anything to need a suit or not? But then he finds the little girl, I guess, and Leia, and she like kind of escaped her chair, I guess.
She's already cutting herself out. Oh yeah, it's sad because before that, she's trying to escape with her little droid, and the droid's helping. They never checked her body, which is weird. You think they would? I know she's a kid, so you don't start to have like a weapon or something, but they didn't, frisk her or make sure she didn't have any.
Well, what if she had a tracking fob on her? Like,
yeah, exactly. A life alert.
Exactly. Well, it's like, and they put her in like a little tiny chair, which is funny how they have a little chair at all.
Oh,
and then
it's conveniently kid-sized.
And then there's like, we have the child prisoner chair on standby, and then it had like just like one strap, and it was like that's all you got there. Like that's like okay. I mean, I know she's not that much of a threat really, but still, if you're trying to, I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like incompetence on purpose, where it's like, well, this is so it's easier for them to escape. Yeah, I know, but like one extra strap just to show that it's I don't know, like if the robot got one loose and then okay, you can get the other one loose yourself, kind of a thing. It's like okay, there you go. But anyway, so then he comes in and she like kicks him in the shin or something. Or what did she do? She just tackled.
Oh no, I was gonna say she's got her cute little droids helping her escape, and then one of the kidnappers comes in and finds her and foils the plan, and he throws the droid on the ground and breaks it, and I'm just like, no.
Oh yeah, that was a comment you had when we were
also,
watching.
Why is it so flimsy? Like,
yeah.
I assume this droid could, pierce the, entry of space. It seems like droids are made of certain quality, and the way I don't know.
It's like no, it's in this world. Like droids are a reliance. Like you need to have your technology be durable and work well. And yes, they can break sometimes, like a lightsaber or a blaster can damage them. But it's like you just dropped it on the floor and stepped on it, sort of like a CD player made today could probably not be as destroyed as that droid. After
Dude, I
that,
drop my CD player all the time on the bus, and somehow it still works.
It's like it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it was a little complaint where I'm like, really, it broke it? Like, phones don't break that easy. Come on.
I think a 40s walkie-talkie would probably survive a fall to the fucking floor, like those old ancient devices. But anyway, she does something when he gets there, and she either tries to run past him or kick him in the shin or hit him with something. Is that what she does? You have the thing, so I don't know.
No, so yeah, I'm watching it. He gets foiled. He goes to like the wrong chamber that's like a decoy chamber, and there's just like a dummy in the chair, and they're like, haha, we got you. And then
right.
Beats him up, gets out, finds her in the right cell.
He's like, hold on. You just say beats him up. Hold on, now there's more. So they it seems like Obi-Wan's about to be beaten by these three Stooges guys essentially, and then he's like, oh well, no, and then he like has a red smoke thing, and then he like beats them up quickly, and in my head this is like a Three Stooges scene to me. Like imagining the stupid sound effects of like doink bonk when they hit their heads and then they all fall down. I'm just kind of like, oh my god, and the bowling pin sounds as they all collapse. Like that's what I was imagining as I watched that, because I was like, oh, these guys are just like when they were chasing her and then doing this. They're the Three Stooges characters. That's what these guys are, pretty much. And then he just kind of walks out and it's like, okay, yeah, I guess he didn't. Yeah, that was all right, I guess. Like it wasn't an impressive scene, but it was just like, I guess it wasn't a bad scene. It's like fine, but
yeah. He finds her. Reva's on her way to the kidnappers, and
to the Three Stooges. Yep.
Yeah. So then I guess they're coming to after they're already escaped. I guess it's like funny gas or something. I don't know. And then boom, Reva's there, and she's a mad black woman.
Yeah, what a change from before. I couldn't tell from her.
Way to fight
Her only other
stereotypes,
emotion.
Disney.
That's what's weird about it. Is like it's like they purposefully made her just angry black woman only, and it's like, is there any like even if she's just bad entirely, can you not have her be like a calm bad, like a just like a chill, like oh, I'll totally help this little kid cross the street, and then like breaks their finger or something. I don't know. Like that's just whatever. We've already mentioned about that basically. So he's trying to get away with Leia, and this is where they start walking through Coruscant, the streets.
Yeah, and
she
I didn't really like Leia in the first episode, and this one, her interaction with him in Coruscant, where it's like, she has some awareness, understanding of like, hey, your father sent me. She's like, where's the army? And it's like, all right, so you got an idea, but you don't get it. You're a kid still. But you see, like, the gears are turning for more than a normal kid. So you see the promise that, will blossom when she's older. But she's still a dumb kid, never really been off Alderaan. And now she's, so he's kind of going to the shenanigans, just like, hey, I want this thing, I want that. And it's like, dude, like, I'm in hot shit right now. Like, well, it was just kind of dad frustration he's going through.
It was very annoying because they showed her to have some level of intelligence in the first episode. Kidnapped. And she was just kidnapped. Yes, she was just kidnapped.
Broke her droid.
And they broke her droid. And she's in I would assume that she would be somewhat scared of the creatures and the streets she's in, or like it's dark. It's very different than her planet. She has zero reaction to her environment at all. I think she even says like, "I'm not scared of you" to the guys and stuff. And it's like, well, I mean, okay, but like, there just seems to just be no. She's literally just fearless 10-year-old. That's kind of a dumb thing in my opinion, entirely. Like just to have that be like, again, kind of like angry black woman, brave 10-year-old. It's like, can they have any sign of fear or question, something like that?
Well,
and she's like,
General Leia of the Resistance, so you can't ever show her really weak.
It's like, show her weak at first and then grow to be strong. It's not that hard. And then, but she's like, oh, are you a Jedi? Oh, can you show me your lightsaber? Can you make me fly or something? And it's like, you stupid. Oh my God. It's like, the writers are like, yeah, this would be, a kid would probably say something like this. This is funny. And Obi-Wan's like, oh no. But it's like, no, like after 10 years, I'm sure that it's not as simple as, oh, the Jedi are extinct. It's more of, if you see a Jedi, report it. Like, you report it to the Empire because we're trying to kill them. It's like, that's pretty much what's known. They established that in the first episode. It's basically, you tell us that there's a Jedi. And that's pretty much how it is around the galaxy, I would assume. And she's just like, I'm Derpader. And Organa, her dad, served with the Jedi, and I would assume I've told her something about the Jedi before. And it's like, if you see a Jedi, don't say nothing, because it's fucking, they're hiding. They're in hidey holes.
Well, I don't know. See, I'm not that critical of, like, my thing is, for one, I just hate Leia. And unfortunately for me, in this episode, she's kind of cute. She's kind of likable. And I hate that because she's Leia. But, yeah, I don't know. She's, a little cutie, inquisitive. And it's like, no, I don't know. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me, these thoughts of hers. Not quite really getting the gravity of the situation. Easily distracted. Like, hey, I want to buy this trinket. Hey, can you make me fly? I assume she probably heard the incredible feats of the Jedi. So she's thinking like, oh yeah, levitate me, Obi-Wan.
See, I guess I'd be more for that if they didn't show, like, in the first episode, that's not really her attitude. She's like,
yeah,
I'm a smarty pants. I'm a smarty pants kid in the first one, and this one now I'm like, a 5-year-old in this one. It's like, what? Like, I don't. That's what's weird to me. It was the
shift, it's Rose Tico.
The shift in behavior.
Like,
where I'm like, how does this?
And she's like, oh, the fan from yesterday. Wow.
Right. Yeah, well, my sister. I'm sad for my sister. Fan. Yeah, it's like, huh? How do you go from so sad to my famous guy from yesterday? I guess because that's literally when this all happened. Like it's so stupid revisiting that.
Yeah, that's the thing is they're inconsistent. It's not a natural regression where it's like it's not that Leia says this and that and they can't go to. It's that the timing is so close together where you don't. It's like okay, she's a smarty pants, too cool for school. Always got to like one up you, and then gets kidnapped, just escaped, and is now like just a normal
Lollipops in
kid where it's like,
fairyland.
oh, I want popsicles.
Like I'm outside with Dad at the street market, and it's like, what? How do you like that? That's
you just said, where's contrast. The army? Like you get like, okay, I'm
there's danger,
and there's danger, and so my dad's going to rescue me. He would rescue me with an army because he's got that at his disposal, and so yeah, that's the thing. Is there's not a natural progression for her to like, all right, we're in the cool, and it's like I can relax and think of silly dumb kid shit now.
Yeah, I feel like there should have been a different range of emotions for the kid to go through. I know it's hard to ask for a kid to do because it's like, should be some level of fear, I think, some level, and still bravery. Still, that's fine. You can do both at the same time. And, and then, okay, a little bit more of assurance, like, okay, I'm rescued. Cool. And, seeing the people in the streets that are like, all very different and dark, and it's a different location entirely, like a little bit, apprehensive and like, cling a little close to Obi-Wan or something, and then once they get in the clearing or a more like warming looking area, then a little bit more of the like, oh, there's a lollipop thing. I recognize that thing. Can I get one of those or something? It's like something like that, so that it's like that's what a kid would probably go through. That's like a little more believable to me, other than just the one or the two dials that they have. It's either I'm really smart and I'm braver, and I'm also a dumb innocent kid. And that's basically the only two they have. Anyway.
Yeah. But
what happens next?
I'm trying to get the context again. So, everyone's going through this shit, and then we cut to. All right, let me watch this really quick.
It's funny because I'm literally asking in that, like, I saw it and I remember it, but nothing was that significant that I'm remembering, like in terms of order. So I don't know what happens next specifically.
Yeah. Okay, so they're out and about, and Leia's like, you seem kind of old and beat up. And he's telling, all right, we got to get across town to a time hack so we can get on the last transport out here. And she sees like a really weird, furry, tall creature thing, and she's like shocked. This is really like, all right, she's like experiencing the greater universe outside of safe little Alderaan. And so you see kind of like the shock of like, oh, maybe I do need this old guy to take care of me. I'm going to listen. So she kind of gets the fear of God in her. And so while they're taking off, same area, at least it seems like the same area, Reva's trying to follow up from her kidnapper's foiled plan, and then the Inquisitor with Asian Inquisitor and alien chick Inquisitor come up, which kind of sexy. I don't know what species she is, but she's got some natural handlebars, which is cool.
All right. More for the brothel.
Giggity.
More to add to the Star Wars brothel.
Yeah, and so then it's like Asian Inquisitor's like, she thinks she'll gain favor by capturing Kenobi. And Inquisitor's like, yeah, well, I'm going to do that. We don't need you anymore right now.
We don't need you. Haha, boo boo. Pretty much.
And clearly there's some distinction of Reva from the rest of the Inquisitors. Like, no matter what you do, you're still what you are. So she's a muggle or something.
Filthy little mudblood or something, they'll call her.
Yeah, so the Inquisitor tells her, like, you're the least of us.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is that, like, the way she carries herself is why she's the least of them. It's like, you're just always outbursting and angry at everything. We're chill and can handle things without freaking out. Like, we can calmly handle a situation as to where you are flipping out and then doing parkour randomly.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know,
You'll have a little Kylo Ren moment, Reva. we don't need those. Did you cut out?
No. I'm watching this. I'm trying to get any more context. I'm trying to piece out like what is it about her that they kind of like push her to the side and are thus incentivizing her to undermine them, which is it's being phoned into us like, yeah, she's gonna undermine them.
It was very telegraphed.
So she's like on probation or she's in the hot seat, and so they're like, yeah, let's take care of this. Yeah, we're gonna get back to you, Reva. Come on, cool kids, let's leave this gutter rat behind.
Is that a line that they say?
No, and he's talking like you came to us from the gutter. You're not one of, no matter your great accomplishments.
Yeah.
You're the least of us. And it's like, okay, so she's got a bad rap in the Inquisitors, which is you think maybe would be good because they're bad, but
right.
We gotta watch.
But she's not good at being
you and me. Just sidebar because this came to mind saying that you and me gotta watch the Hellraiser episode of Rick and Morty. I think you'd get a kick out of it.
Okay.
Let's see what's going on.
Luckily, this episode is shorter and moves by quicker. The pace is
okay. So I guess they put a bounty out for Obi-Wan.
No, cheated.
So now it's
cheated.
Whatever.
They were gonna close them in and use the troops and stuff, but then she put out the bounty, and then everybody is getting involved.
Yeah,
because one of them goes to him later and goes, "Sir, look at this," and then he's like, "Reva," or something.
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan's like, here, put this clothes on. Let's get this whatever for better disguise. And she's like, can I try this one? He's like, oh my god, put it on. Like,
yeah, that's a cute little funny. Okay.
Well, it's also because she's a girl. And it's like, of course.
Yes.
It's like in Black Widow where she's got like she's like a spy. Or no, she gets like this new jacket. Her sister gets this new jacket, and she's like kind of proud of it. She's like, "Hey, you see my new jacket?" And you know, it's funny because it's like even though she's like an assassin and programmed, she's still like a girl and wants to be, you know, pretty despite the functionalities. What's key, and it's like, yeah, that's girls. Like girls, they cry about patriarchy making fake standards, but like girls do that to themselves. They even when they're little, they without being taught that they just like, oh, look how pretty I am. They're like show off. It's a girl thing, and it's just funny because like this is totally what a girl would do. It's like, can I get these gloves too for the skies? It'll be pretty.
It's a whole outfit now.
It's like no time. It's like they're trying to kill you. Are you really worried about the color scheme? Come on, like.
Well, they're trying to kill him, and she's important, and they don't know that she's that important. But yeah, which that's the funny thing too. When they end up shooting at him, they're aiming for him, but he's like running toward Leia.
Okay, this is funny right here. All right, so he's getting this guy. She wants gloves, and he's like, "You don't need those," and she just kind of like. Still keeps doing. He's like, all right, buy the gloves too. And so he says, now, if anyone asks, we're farmers from Tal, and you're my daughter. And then she says, granddaughter, maybe. He says, what? She says, nothing.
Yeah, that was a funny little cute.
Cute woo, zinger. that little quippy shit, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
it's like. I like a little levity like that.
It's pretty much that's a piece of junk.
That's why I hate this, because it's Leia. And I'm like, it's making me like her. And then, like, you know, even though they're doing this, it's like, all right, now she's hungry. She's like, oh, yummy food cooking. And he's like, don't smell anything, don't look at anything.
The Jedi way, of course.
She's like, you sound like my parents.
I say that just sounds like the Jedi in general. Don't smell anything, don't look at anything, don't feel anything. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I heard that Jedi can make things float, so the reason she said this, like, I heard the Jedi are all dead, and so it's like she's got this like faded myth image of the Jedi, and so yeah, that context we're saying like, oh, being an annoying kid, like, oh, make me float. It's like, well, it kind of makes sense.
To me, I guess it would be also known simultaneously that if you like that the Jedi are currently still being hunted, as in if you see a Jedi, report them to the Empire because they want to fucking kill them. It's essentially what I would assume, but I don't know. The Empire stresses that kind of thing. And even though she's on Alderaan, it's still part of the Imperial Senate, essentially.
Yeah, so now the fake Jedi is out to try to catch him.
You know what it seems. So the bounty's out and everything, and yeah, he's like, oh, let's go get him. And then they get driven to an alley, basically, I think, after they try to kill somebody. He's like, hey, you! And then, he fights them, right? And then, I don't know, they say something, and then she's like, oh no,
yeah,
they're
okay,
after you, huh?
Making the bounty is a problem because now there's way more eyes trying to find them than just the
Inquisitors. Yeah. Well, it's like, and now he knows that people are on to him, as where if they were to just sneak up on him. Now it's like, oh, everybody knows where he is. Yeah. Or can find him easily anyway.
Okay, so I'm trying to go through this quick, but it's like I gotta read subtitles to get like the full context for breakdown. So they're just having a heart-to-heart in the alley, and she's sad about her droid, and I am too because he's cute.
Well, he was like, I don't care. He's like, it's probably best.
Yeah, it was funny.
He's like, good.
Droid. She's like, oh, my droid's broken. He's like, good.
Yeah, I do like that because he always seemed to have he always seemed to have a disdain for droids, like not a pure hatred, but like
he's like, flying is for droids.
Yeah, and it was funny too. Like in one of the Clone Wars episodes, they're like, "Oh no, we get to wipe R2's memory." He's like, "Yeah, you should." Pretty much, he's like, that thing has been around memorizing all this shit. Fuck that. Droid's a liability. Kill it. That's funny. Yeah, and then she realizes that he is who they are all after, and not her.
Okay, yeah, she gets away. She's looking around, being awe-inspired, and then someone recognizes her. So then Obi-Wan pulls a gun and kills him.
Yep.
Out of necessity. One of the Asian Inquisitors got stormtroopers with them. She's running, and he's trying to catch up. Now the Inquisitors are investigating.
Yep, and then she climbs a building.
Yeah, so she gets on top of the building, running.
Obi-Wan's like, stop. Stop it.
All right, now a bounty hunter is complicating matters.
Well, we were both like, hey, look, this design for an alien or whatever is like not that great, but it's fine. We like it because it's like it's there.
A lizard person.
Like it's not like it's Clinton. Super high. It doesn't look like a very believable lizard, but it's like I don't even care. I'm just glad to see a non-fish head ugly design. This one's like a cool looking thing anyway. Even if it's fake looking, it's still.
Oh my god, it's still bad. Oh my god, so it's like Ree was using the bounty hunters to like just have more activity to like pick up on if people were, so she was aware of the gunfire and she like jumps down, but it's like it's the way they shot it and did it, it's like she's levitating like Magneto, but doing a spin down to the ground.
Yeah, I saw.
And it's like the second time, it's like, it looks horrible for Star Wars.
On the first watch, I'm like, every movement she's doing is just entirely unnecessary.
It's like
the way she's running around.
Jump down.
Yeah,
you've seen Obi-Wan.
They do that all the time. They just jump. They just jump down all the time. They just fall down. They don't have their weird
yeah, okay, yeah.
entrances.
She's doing like parkour. She does like this like cat jump where
Does
it's
like
like she
20
like fully
flips.
extends with her legs back, and then like the way a dog or a cat runs with like their hind legs like going up towards their front and like propelling them, and it's like what?
It's like she in her head is like, I'm gonna do this epic parkour run real quick. It's just like, but
It's,
why? Like, there's literally no urgency to.
like there's a lack of weight, like when you watch Obi-Wan in episode 1, he makes his superhuman jump up to the other platform to like catch up to Qui-Gon and Maul. It's like, all right,
Light as a
that's
feather.
clearly that's an effect thing, but it's believable for like the power set that we're seeing.
Yeah.
But there's still a weight to it. Where it's like, I mean, jump up and okay, I land. You can like, there's a smooth physics that they nailed with them jumping up or down. It wasn't like I'm flying and I'm a feather and okay, now I softly touch down. It's like, no, they're people. They just got like super strength in the force to like, go the extra mile. And it's like, it's little details like that. When you get it wrong, it's like it ruins the whole illusion.
Yeah, well, and just with that, with the force, and then when she does her parkour, see, the reason why I hate it is that I know she's trying to get to Obi-Wan, but it's not like all this stuff is just fully in her way. Like, like in the factory in episode 2, like there's a lot of things happening and you got to kind of try to maneuver around in some way. These are all just still objects that are just there. Like, she doesn't have to maneuver around a bunch of things. It's not like in a street market or something where there's a lot of movement and you gotta quickly react and jump around things. But she's just like unnecessarily like spinning and doing flips and jumping around and going on the walls, and it's like, why? it's just like a weird unnecessary thing that,
Oh
like, in a
God, yeah. God, I'm
right,
watching it
you're watching it
is
now. Yeah,
more,
she
and
just, everything is just unnecessary that she does.
if people cry about the prequels stunts and shit, and they watch this and go, "Yeah, this is so good." Oh my God, like,
And then on top of that, Angus, remember, so like after this whole thing she's doing, like with haste, she's booking it over there, and like she doesn't even get there in time at all. Like, it's like way later where she like reaches where he was, and it was like, wait, so why'd you we're like, oh, doing all that intense parkour and then like just stopped for a while or what? Like, took a break because you expended all that extra energy for no reason, like.
oh, okay, this is cute. So under duress, Leia about falls when she can't make the jump across the skyscraper. So he uses the force to stop her from, Gwen Stacying on the ground. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of funny because it paid off on the whole make me float.
Well, yeah, that was another thing I knew was going to happen. I'm like, he's going to have to do that at some point, of course, because she said that, and she's also Disney. Disney stuff. They want to make her fly. They like to make Leia fly now.
Oh,
So,
fuck, I totally forgot about Poppins. Yeah.
so I'm like, they're going to make her fly. So like, and that's what I was thinking of. I didn't think they were going to do it. I thought she was going to try to jump for the other building. Then he was going to levitate her across to the building.
Give her a boost
to the rooftop. Yeah, but no, this was okay too, I guess, but still just weird. And then she's like, "Oh, I do believe you now," and it's like, okay, I guess this counts as
So you get a little
something.
bit of exposition. They're going to the port. Stormtroopers are locking it down. And see them. It's like, who are they? It's like Inquisitors. They were Jedi once. Now they hunt their own kind. And it's like,
It's a weird wording, but
yeah, it says many were Jedi who turned to the dark side. Now they hunt their own kind. And it's just like, yeah, I'm watching Game of Thrones, like, so it's like when there's exposition, at least when I pick up on it, it's like obvious info dump, but it makes sense. And so I'm watching this and I'm like,
well,
yeah,
it's like how
it's not bad.
It's just to me it is kind of bad because it's like in the first episode they showed the younglings survive. Nothing else in the episode had anything to do with them. And then in this, toward the end of this episode, he like clarifies what the Inquisitors are, and it feels so unconnected to anything. But I I assume with my head that that's supposed to be a connection to the youngling things, but maybe the way they edited these episodes.
Oh yeah, it'll be a payoff for that scene where it's like, oh, if you didn't get it, she's the black girl at the beginning in the Order 66 scene.
Yeah, but it's like I assume the way they edited it, they wanted that to be in the same episode, maybe, but they didn't.
Well,
because
really, it's there for normies who are going to pretend to be Star Wars fans because it's trendy. And of course, they're not invested. They didn't watch Rebels trying to get new information because they love this universe. And so they're going to be like totally dumb. And that's like a quick little like, all right, that's all you need to know. These guys were those guys. Now they hunt them because they think they're cooler.
See, I feel like it would have been better if they just showed the youngling thing and then never brought up that the Inquisitors were Jedi before. And then it'd be up to people to kind of piece together, wait a sec, they showed that thing at the beginning. It didn't really follow up anywhere. But we have these dark force. Oh, it's. I think you think people would be able to fill the dots. Maybe.
Okay.
But then again.
So they set it up where the bounty goes out. The fake Jedi's like, oh, and he gets a gun. So you're like, oh, he's going to be in on it, try to get a quick payday on Obi-Wan. He finds him and he gives him a fob or something. And he's like, hey, go to that transport. You can go.
It's to his clearance to his. It's one of those stupid badge things that they have like in the First Order, or in the Rise of Skywalker, where it's like, hey, have this like captain's whatever
this magic
thing,
coin,
this magic thing that'll let you through, even if it makes zero sense why it's here, and there's no other
blockading the planet,
no other identification. But fuck it,
It's like, hey, we need to blockade this planet from orders from the supreme leader, but yeah, coincidentally, if someone on this planet just happens at this moment of blockade, you're like, hey, I got to pass. See ya. Don't question it.
It's like, I'm sure they'd go, any vessel that is trying to leave, we will check it, because that's what we're going to fucking do, because there's a person we're looking for. And there's a ship leaving. Well, gee, if we don't end up finding him, I wonder where the fuck he went. It's not that complicated. It's like a really weird writing thing where they try to account.
Suspicious at all. All right, you're clear to go.
You see what it is, Angus? They're trying to account for the Star Wars world, and like, okay, what actions would happen that makes sense? But then they go, well, I don't fucking know what else he'd do. They blocked the spaceport. I don't know. Fuck it. They just
the delegates on planet Ner.
Give them a. I almost think that would be a better idea. He contacts the people on Mir. Mir people are trying to do business, but it's like, oh, we're dealing with a problem here. Oh, well, fuck, we're gonna pull out. Oh no, we can't have that happen. So we'll make room for you guys to still come here, but we're conducting a search thing. Okay, and then he gives you a slight window to get them off the planet through those guys or something. I don't know. Where it's like they'd still be tight security, but maybe you could slip through that still.
Yeah,
that's a better idea.
I can't wait till Ner ends up being these stupid fucking frog people.
I'd rather it be the fart things on Tatooine that come from the one planet that visited Tatooine and got stranded on Tatooine on accident. The fart.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The poop things. The
poop camel?
The poop camel. the poop camel planet is Mur. They came here.
No, it's not Mur. It's Ner.
Killing me. What happens next?
All right. So I was like, "You want me to trust you?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So the Stevie Sky isn't so bad because he's helping. So I guess he feels bad for being charlatan. So he's helping him out.
Yeah, and then he goes and confronts Reva, and he's like, "How much is the bounty on me? Huh? Like $2 billion?"
All right, so now the Inquisitors screwing around. The Grand Inquisitor's screwing around with someone. Reva is still doing her fucking parkour.
Yeah,
instead of being a Jedi and just jumping straight down into the alley, she's going bing bong, like
It's
pinball
so
on the buildings, and it's like why would you mention intro to the show? Like, hey, remember the prequels? Here's the highlights for that character, and we've already seen them do great physical feats for their species, and
like again, it's
but
not
then
like
she's
she's
doing this pinball
no,
parkour shit.
again, it's not like she's maneuvering through objects that she has to like predict where they're gonna be and that are moving, and she's got to react quickly. She's just doing it for no reason, and it's just weird. It's just weird. It's just like, well, it's like, hey, can you go put my glass over on the counter? Sure. And then you like do a flip off the wall and like roll on the floor, and I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? I asked you to go put the cup over on the counter. No, hold on, I got to do more flips and swing around the chairs and do slide under the table. I feel like no, you don't do that.
Yeah,
That's what she's doing. That's what she's doing.
So the fake Jedi finds her and is trying to stall her so he can get away. And he's like, "How big's the bounty on me, huh? Is it 1 million? Is it 2 million?" And she's like, "Yeah, you're not a Jedi." But then she's like, I guess picks up on his brain or whatever, and is like, "Well, you're not a Jedi, but you know where one is."
She does that weird Kylo Ren thing that they introduced in there, where it's like, I see into your mind and whatever, and it's like, well, I mean, I guess that's something.
Yeah, so
It's not really clear how that even
I
works.
didn't even realize that she did the mind rape thing.
Well, I guess she did, but she didn't ask him any questions, which is what's kind of weird. I kind of thought it was more like similar to a Jedi mind trick, but like where you get them to, again, give you information of some kind. You pluck information out of them in some way, but I assume it would be easier if you ask a question and then they're, mind folk. You know what I mean? Like that at least make more sense with it. Like I think even in Force Awakens, Kylo Ren's like, he's like, tell me where the map is, and he's like, where are trying to probe her head or Poe's head or something too. He's like, I'll find out where it is. I'm looking for the map. Rawr.
Yeah, I like this. So they're in the cargo port that he sends them to, and she's like, "Look, since I met you, I've been chased, shot at. I almost fell to my death. And now there are inquisiting people after us." And I think she's trying to say, like, hey, someone's actually helping us. I think maybe we should trust them.
Yeah, that's
So,
fine.
little insight, or it's like, normally I wouldn't think a 10-year-old would have this insight, but given her background and circumstance she just went through, it's like I think she could maybe piece this stuff together.
It's when they switch it back to, remember, she's a smart kid. And it's like, okay, I forgot, because for a while she wasn't. So here we go.
All right. Yeah, I think this is when I started like almost dozing off, so I wasn't like registering anything. I was glazing my eyes over, which I mean it's Disney, so it's not that deep.
I can sum up what happens here.
Well, I'm watching it now,
They're
but
about to. Well, I know, but there's not much that happens. So it's basically she's like, "I know where you are, Obi-Wan," and then she's like, "Anakin's alive," and whatever. Bet you didn't know that, huh, bitch? And the Inquisitor comes. She's starting to like force pull things and almost finds him. And then the Inquisitor comes in and he's like, "You need to stop, okay?" And then she's like, "No, fuck you." And then she stabs him. And I thought she was going to kill him, but I wasn't sure she was going to kill him right then and there at that exact moment. But I was like, okay, wow, that happened anyway. And
yeah,
then
which is
Obi-Wan
weird.
gets away.
So this makes I remember we were talking this because this is what like woke me up. So I'm like, wait, what? They killed the Inquisitor? What the fuck was Rebels about? Because like he dies when he's fighting like at the climax of the first season.
Oh,
Fighting
Angus. Oh, Angus, you believe that a character that dies in Star Wars is dead?
No.
No, kidding.
Like that. What I'm saying is like.
In the
They
Disney Star
made
Wars
a
era, they
point
always
to
come back.
retcon
Yes.
the EU, to decanonize it, even though there's an argument that it never was, whatever. they made a point to be like, yeah, clean slate. Everything we do now is canon, aside from the films. So anything you see on TV is like pertinent, and everything's interconnected. And so they make the Inquisitor. He doesn't have to die, but he'd probably be taken prisoner, at least temporarily.
No, Angus, Angus. No, hold on, no. Are you forgetting Sidious?
What about him?
He's literally killed, but they're like, no, he's alive. Ahsoka, literally killed. No, we're bringing her back.
No, they never clarified that she was dead at that point.
No, but I'd say it would make 100% sense that she's dead. But that's what I'm saying. Is it's like unless even if you see a body, even if you see a body,
she gets pulled. She never died.
No,
they never actually showed her.
My point is that it doesn't matter because if they want to bring a character back, they just kind of will.
No, well, okay, but like Maul, they never like they never put him in a new spot. No, this is the thing. So he has a. It's not that the Inquisitor is resurrected. It's that they're totally retconning where he dies, and so it's like, is Kanan and Ezra not even a thing now? Is that whole story just like, because there's things that are built up on, and that's canon. They've written books, part of the Disney canon.
Yeah, no. What I'm
Rebels. No, so now you got a contrast where it's like it's not a detail is different or more expanded on, or it's not like we had one planet but now we changed it to this planet, and that might have some circumstance that really just a setting. No, it's like he died in this spot and it's part of canon, and now we're saying that never happened. He dies.
I see it. No, you see, I bet they're gonna say no, both happened. No, I agree with you, but I'm saying they are probably just they don't care, is what I'm saying. So it's like
there's a difference between resurrecting a character and saying, they have this power, or someone accessed the power to reconstitute them, versus no, we're just totally changing when they die in the story.
It's like this. Obi-Wan killed Darth Maul in episode 1, but he didn't though. It's like what happens later. It's like he got cut in half and clearly fell like really. The odds, he's not alive, but they're like, no, he is though. And it's like, okay, and then Sidious blown the fuck up. No, he's alive. Okay, you can maybe do some humbo jumbo crap, but it's still like the point is that he was dead, and then they went, no, he's not dead though. And then it's not about
Rebels
resurrection.
Is like another 5 years away.
And then
the
Ahsoka, Ahsoka, there's Rebel, and it's like, that's pretty much.
They answer that in the show. In Rebels,
don't they do a time travel thing and bring her back?
There's like a time wormhole thing.
But that's what I'm saying too, though, is that they had to do a thing in the show to bring her all the way back, so she's not dead now. It's like, but she was dead, and then they're like, no, she's not dead now. So what they did was they just made it. They wanted to have her back.
But we know she's dead by the time Rise of Skywalker happens, because she's one of the voices in the Force reinforcing.
If they want, I don't agree. I think that they can. I mean, I think it would make sense, Angus, but I don't think it's what they're going to do. They might go, let's have her up past Rise of Skywalker. Fuck it. Like that's what I'm saying they're going to do, because this. I think.
They're doing comic shit now.
This will be a stepping stone to my point. This will be a stepping stone to my point. No. They'll just say both exist at the same time. Oh, but that can't happen. Disney doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. That they both.
I mean, so
that's just what they'll say. That's what I think.
I'm going to play this, watch it while we're talking about it. But it's like, if I remember correctly, first time I watched this, the Inquisitor he's dead from Riva. If they pull he's just really wounded and he got sleepy, but he's back, and then he dies in Rebels.
That's annoying still.
Okay, but it's like, it seemed like she killed her oppressive leader.
It takes narrative impact away every time they do that, is I guess my point at that as well, because it's like, okay, this is meaning
he wasn't dead, he was just severely hurt and crippled for a while.
It's just, I'm doing an action that's like, woof, I did a move, I did a chess move that's like, oof, this is important, like in Game of Thrones or something. But then it's like, no, let's just take it back. And it's like, okay, like what if in the Red Wedding they just, Rob's back and Caitlin's back. fuck it. Like,
Well,
you'd be
they
like,
could with like a Red Priestess of the Lord of Light, but
no. But let's just say they just, for different reasons. No, you're right. That's an in-story thing they could do. But what if they just went, no, they're back. They're just back.
well, I mean, no.
Or no. Oh, somebody found them. Somebody found their bodies, and then they like healed them, and they're fine. Like, fuck it. Like, I'm just saying that's probably what they would do. I don't know.
No, it's literally
that's what Star Wars. That's what Star Wars would do.
I love the Rise of Skywalker. It's like somehow he's back. It's almost verbatim how they say it in the movie. It's like somehow he's back.
Yes, we don't even know. Don't ask us. He's back though.
And it's like, wait a minute. If the dark side can be used to resurrect yourself, why the fuck would I join the light side? Losers.
Well, and the dark side can't be force ghosts and do lightning and catch. Why the fuck would I be on the dark side? I could just
that's the thing.
Be a ghost thing. What's the point?
Like, do I want to be a ghost or do I want to be alive again?
Yeah, but if you become a decrepit, I don't know. Like, that's still, it's just funny. It's like I get what you're saying with stuff.
Well, that's the problem too. Is like
my point is the way that they're doing it makes me think they're not going to do it in a smart way. They're just going to do it in a. We just kind of want to have this here again, and so it is.
Well, it's what's funny when you think about it. It's like, wait, they make a big deal like, yo, they can't be force ghosts because they're the bad guys. But then it's like, well, they figure out how to resurrect themselves. It's like a bigger payout.
That's a better move than a ghost thing that can give you advice later. It's like, unless they do the Yoda thing where it can summon lightning and fucking strike down your shit.
It's a like, as much as I love Star Wars, and even before Disney's purchase and meddling, Star Wars is kind of stupid as far as like the box that they've put themselves in since Lucas, because he's fetishizing Eastern philosophy from a Judeo-Christian society like mindset of good and evil when he's writing an Eastern concept of like yin yang. There's no good and bad. There's you can't have one without the other. They're a balance. But then he writes it like, well, they're good. It's from its inception, even though I love it, it's kind of stupid how it's set up. It's like Lucas doesn't fully understand that core because he's trying to write a story about good and evil, and so he kind of muddies the water with what's inspiring him. All right, but yeah, she's like, Anakin's alive, and it's like, what? To Obi-Wan, and it's like, wait, didn't you know? Like, you failed.
Yeah. That was part of the exile stuff.
It's
y'all didn't kill your marks.
All right, so Inquisitor finds her, and he's like, I can't risk you losing him again. Move aside.
Well, so hold on. With the Anakin thing, it's like, I'm fine if like Obi-Wan thought that Anakin was dead and like Darth Vader or somebody else maybe, but like I wish that the reveal for it was better, because this was just like, hey, by the way, bro, yeah, he's alive. And I don't know why I know that, but I would assume most people don't know that Anakin is Darth Vader. I assume that's more secretive. It's like, no, fucking I know it. And here you go. And it's like, what?
All right, yes, okay.
So weak. So weak.
This is the thing. All right, so Inquisitor's like, I'm going to stop him, and then she like stabs him in the belly button.
He's probably alive. Yeah,
for a minute with a lightsaber that can melt metal.
You've seen Qui-Gon melt through like 4 doors of heavy steel, like
I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Durasteel in Star Wars, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds like super steel. Yeah, fuck it. It's burns that shit.
Melting through like 4 layers of it with his lightsaber.
And that's in your belly button. That's going through. It's going through your body. It's going through your body. It was
more than likely through his spine.
It was melting pieces of the door off that wasn't even touching. It was like, that's how hot.
That's why I'm like, wait a minute. This is 5 years before Rebels when he dies, and he's stabbed in the gut, probably spine, for like a minute, she runs off.
Qui-Gon died from a stab wound to the belly.
And he's laying on the ground unblinking, so it's like they have a purposeful shot of like, look, he's dead.
Like with Snoke with the stupid tongue.
And like, so that's why I'm like, what the fuck is Rebels? What is that? Why did I watch it? Why do I own 3 of the 4 seasons before I finally was like, fuck this? This is
because Angus, both are canon. No timelines. It's just they're both canon. They just contradict each other and get over it. It's what they would probably say. It's just
what the
I'm
looking this up right now if there's any articles about.
Or they'll just say that's the Grand Inquisitor's little brother, not the actual Grand Inquisitor. They'll just say this was his little brother, not him or his clone. Like that's just what they'll do. Imagining.
Did the Grand Inquisitor die in Kenobi? There's a lot of Star Wars out there, movies, TV shows, novels, blah blah blah. If he did die, it's a major problem for the continued continuity of Star Wars.
He's probably not dead. You're right. He's just gonna be
Rebels. Rebels takes place. Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place 9 BBY. If you don't remember, rookie, I'll give you a little lesson. Before the Battle of Yavin, the defining moment of Star Wars, and then Rebels takes place 5 BBY. So then once you get to the Battle of Yavin, then it's ABY after. All right, and so this article from Desire saying Grand Inquisitor probably didn't die if they're actually taking canon that they've made into consideration.
Yeah. Still, it's like I hate lightsabers aren't fucking swords. Like, stop treating them like, oh, I got stabbed by a lightsaber, therefore I can still live.
The thing is that there's no indication. There's no indication that the Inquisitor has been someone maimed and had to have been reconstituted or
in the future or in the Rebels ones, right? He's like totally fine.
Yeah. And so I mean
it's like again, Qui-Gon got killed by the same fucking wound.
Wait. So though the implications that everyone's least favorite PHALON male is dead by episodes in, chances are he's only mostly dead. And look, I know a certain section of the Star Wars fan base always wants to point out there's some sort of imagined Lucasfilm Civil War going on, but they're not going to kill a character in live action and contradict an animated show that they've already been working into the live action canon.
Yes, they would. They just bring him back and say, fuck it, he's back.
So yeah, I just
they literally did that with Sidious. I mean, that's just like, yes, they can do it. They'll just do that.
Well, no, I mean, the problem with Sidious is they never explain it. But me doing the work for him, it's like, all right, someone can manipulate midichlorians. He's responsible for creating Anakin from his fucking,
there's some things. No. There's something I know, but it's like there's some things where I understand where it's like, yeah, well, the audience can figure it out, but there's some other things like that that's extremely important. That's like,
oh yeah, oh no,
you gotta be fucking clear. Otherwise it's just an ass pull, and that's it. Even if later they come up with a reason, to me the logic was no, it's still just an ass pull, and later we're attempting to cover up the ass pull. And it's
no, I get a kick when people if you're like, well, the EU, this and it's like, I don't care if it's not in movies, or show, I don't care. Like, you gotta explain it, it's like, all right. But then when you counter, and it's like you watch this Disney shit and there's no fucking explanation until they pull, a comic writer or a novelist, pull something out of his ass to make it work and have backbone. And then they're like, look, see, it's been explained in the canon. You just gotta read it, man, baby. And it's like, hypocrisy.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like you're not like. I heard this argument from somebody on EFAP once. Is one of the guests that were basically saying like, it was a Marvel conversation about Marvel, and he was basically pretty much saying like, you pretty much can't criticize Marvel ever because in future movies they might have an answer for something that happens in the past. They can have the answer later, and it's like, that's retarded. Like, what the fuck? like when they like just I forget a specific example, but I guess like naming is like naming the Avengers based off of fucking Captain Marvel and stuff like that. That stuff was literally all contradictory to what was there.
It's like, what did she avenge?
Well, it's not. It's not even just that. It's like she was an alien, and he dealt with aliens, and Fury was acting like Thor's the first alien that they've like seen, and it's like there's these movies that are contradicting each other, and he's like, well, no, in the future in the future they can have explanations that nullify that.
Well, you didn't realize, Rookie, Captain Marvel's actually a multiverse film.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, checkmate, man,
okay.
baby.
Yep. Okay.
You'll lose.
Yep. But it's just like
Marvel,
the idea that like, oh, we'll just make more movies.
You just had to wait 4 years for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
That'll fill in the holes of other flaws of other films, right? And it's like that's retarded method of see. It's one thing if there was a mistake that was like legitimately there, and then like you make something later, and it's like it like the explanation can cover it up. It's like it doesn't fix that there was a problem, but it's at least good that you worked in a solution to the problem in a way. But that's different than, oh, fuck it, we'll just explain it later because we don't know what to say for it now. Fuck it. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about this episode. We're pretty much done with the Kenobi.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I remember that waking up. It's like, so Reva thinks she's like taking charge of the Inquisitors, feels real empowered, strong black woman, took down the white PHALON male.
They kept on taking credit for all her hard work, right? Yep.
I want to see more of that other sister, though.
Yeah.
With the handlebars on her head.
The handlebar species.
All right, so they do this face close up, and he's still in shock about Vader. And then they're like, hear the breathing, and you cut to the back to take, and there's Vader. And it's like, oh, there's even a bigger threat. Never mind the Inquisitor. We got Darth Vader.
Yeah, we have the rematch in less than 4 episodes to deal with, so fuck it. That's still the thing too. It's like there's 4 episodes left, and there's just nothing yet. It's just things have happened again, but like nothing's happened. Is the feeling like, I
never thought I would be like, please God, get Bryce Dallas Howard to do this, because it's like when I've seen a Deborah Chow, I don't know what other stuff she's done aside from like a Mando episode or 2, but what I've seen of her, I'm like, wow, okay, Star Wars gonna be in good hands. And I watched this and I'm like, it's not horrible. It's got a clean shot image on us, but like the stunts got like the wrong kind of weight to them, and for like the Jedi stuff that Reva's doing. And yeah, 6 episodes. You assume everyone's under an hour, under 50 minutes, under 4, one or two probably be 39 minutes again or something. And it's like we're supposed to have 2 fights with Vader.
I assume it's going to be the next episode and then the final one, I guess.
And yeah, you've already taken out the Inquisitor. It's not as bad as like the Knights of Ren, where they really build them up and build this huge intrigue, and it's like, oh, they do nothing. It's like, but I don't know. It's like the way Star Wars has always done these villains is like you get one that's pretty cool, a challenge, whether he gets knocked off or not, and then you like take a step back and you realize like, oh, there's a bigger threat that's his boss. And it's like, oh, well, actually, the Emperor is that guy's boss. Oh, wow. And, yeah, but no, every time you see the Inquisitor, he's got the other Inquisitor. So it's like, hey, we're all doing the work. You're my lackeys to do my bidding, but I'm here to do the work, too, with you. It's like, what?
It's literally like that. It's like that meme of like, hey, you stay with this. And then the next person says, hey, you stay with this. Then they look to the next person, hey, no, you do this. Like the rank is just going down, 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 down. And it's just like, but it's going up, 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 essentially in this term. And it's just like, Okay.
Yeah, it's just
I don't know.
I'm just watching. That's the thing that sucks with this. It's not even like tough decisions, or it's like, yeah, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna tweak continuity. We're gonna retcon stuff, like hard mainline 9 films continuity. It's just like,
It's
wow,
in this safe area.
there's like there's nothing. Last Jedi, as much as I hate it, like I can at least appreciate the balls it had to say fuck you.
Yeah, it's like with this stuff, like in Kenobi, it's all safe. It's like, well, Leia's gonna be fine, Obi-Wan's gonna be fine, Vader's gonna be
I
fine.
hope Obi-Wan makes it out of the
Like,
show.
gee, I know, right? See, they'd kill him and then just say, no, he's fine for the New Hope. He's
I
just
hope nothing
fine.
bad happens to Darth Vader.
Right? Maybe this Inquisitor chick will somehow win and get, she'll kill Obi-Wan. It's like, no, it's not gonna happen. So, okay.
Yeah, that's
Just,
ultimately. See, this is why I live by that. Even though it's a fiction show, Don Draper in Mad Men, when he's telling his brother, he's like, my life only goes one way, forward. And it's like, more times than not, I've like assessed things through that lens. It's like, you know what? It's a fictitious character, but he's got a real perspective. It's got some merit. Don't stick in the past. Like, always go forward. Yeah, and me trying to make meth gator stuff. It's like I kind of think whatever I do, I'm not going to like try to like retcon and go back and recapture whatever stuff people like about it from the start. I'm always going to be trying to do something. That's why Lucas just gave up with Star Wars, because he was trying to go forward, and people just want this Force Awakens.
I didn't see an X-wing, Lucas. Fuck you. Okay. Fuck.
Yeah,
that does kind of suck. Where it's like you have to, in a way, some of the fans, at least during the prequel era, like made it where, okay, you have to check boxes. Like you have to have lightsabers, you have to have space battles and ships, you have to have like go to different planets. You got to have such and such a thing. Yeah, you gotta have this thing too, and this thing and that thing. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. As a creator or something, you're trying to make your worlds. I mean, I get having like the limits, like of the Force and the world stuff you've already set up already for it. Those are your limits pretty much so far. But then it should be a interesting box from there. But
night reviews. I am so sick and tired of Tatooine. Sand does get everywhere.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
I love that meme, but yeah, I don't. I'm tired of desert plants in general. Jakku, Jeddah, Tatooine. I'm sure there's probably another one that they've thrown us.
Even if they went to like an ice desert
there was a
planet.
fourth one in The Mandalorian, the one he gets on those like fish walker things that he's riding. Yeah, that's at least a fourth desertish planet. And then even the one he's on is like a volcanic rock planet. So
well, I was gonna say, like even the very first place where he goes to the diner, it's like a desert. It's like a desert ice planet, like, or it's like a sand desert, but without the sand. It's the ice. It's ice desert. There's nothing else there but ice. It's just like, can you have different varieties? Take me to the jungle in Star Wars, for fuck's sake, or something. Take me to an underwater city like the Gungans, something.
Yeah, big news for Star Wars I saw on Twitter. Babu Frick is going to be in The Mandalorian.
Yay!
Which I'm like, hey, that could be. Hey, watch Babu Frick be at.
Does he get a lightsaber?
Oh my god! If he got a lightsaber, yeah, he is Luke. He's the second student at Luke Skywalker's.
He's your pocket Jedi. He has the little Mandalorian armor thing that can fit him. Probably.
He's just like,
It's a little big. It's a little big on him. The little Mandalorian armor thing.
Luke Skywalker is like It's like, I'm going to give you a choice. It's like, you can have this lightsaber, this awesome lightsaber that's your favorite color and cuts things, woo! Or you can have this boring blunt. Which one's it going to be, Babu Frick?
Hey, hey, man.
I think R2's done a lot of Uber service for these failed pupils of Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Babu Frick's so stupid. Like, he's kind of in the realm of, like, Salacious Crumb. And it's just a little too much
He's
of,
just a
like, what
mechanic,
the
I
fuck
guess.
is this? Like, what does this thing do? Somehow he's a mechanic who can work on Sith tech in Anakin's protocol droid.
Like if it was like a little person inside of a robot suit of some kind, like in the center, like controlling it like a Megazord, that'd make some sense.
Well, it's just like, where the fuck did this Sith shit ever come in for 3PO to know it?
Well, that'd be great. Have the Babu Frick Salacious Crumb spin-off show. They battle each other, good versus evil. They each have little lightsabers. They're tiny and little blasters. Pew 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 pew. One's the other one's hey. That's all they do. It's just say their stupid phrases over again.
I want a Babu Frick Planet episode.
The species, instead of Ewoks, it's for the final battle with a bunch of Babu Fricks. They all go hey hey. Imagine these little turd creatures, these turds with arms.
It's just sad. This is sad.
This would be funny at least.
This is where Star Wars is like, this is like the best I can hope for. And like, hey, they just made something completely stupid. Like, this shit with Obi-Wan is safe. I like Mandalorian, and it's got like a kind of, we've talked about the father-son thing. They got a core element of Lucas Star Wars. This is why it resonates, even if it's safe. Ultimately, it's hitting core Lucas and male-oriented appeal, and unknowingly, I never anticipated they would be, softly bridging the gap of prequel and original trilogy fandom while going into sequel timeline, with, fusing like Ahsoka and Luke crossing paths. Like, fuck, I never would have thought of that. Like, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like, honestly, I just want stupid ass shit. This is where Star Wars is at. It's like, we're laughing and joking, but I'm watching this and it's like, I don't even care. Make Star Wars a complete laughing stock. I'd rather have that than the Obi-Wan shit we're getting, where, people pretend it's so super duper deep and good. But if you like Star Wars, you watch this like, what?
Have the Babu Fricks ride on top of the fart camels, while the Salacious Crumbs ride on top of the Merc camels on the milk camel things.
They're called Thalos Sirens, my dude.
Okay. The ones that like getting it on with the milk.
Yeah, but no, I definitely get a kick out of these weirdo defenders on Twitter of Obi-Wan's show, where it's like, there's still 4 episodes, bro. You don't know where it's going. It's like
based on the history of their stuff, yeah, I kind of can.
It's like, well, I mean, I can kind of guess that, like, they definitely aren't going to like go here or there because Vader and Obi-Wan are in episode 4, and then he dies and is a ghost. So it's like, I kind of know the limits.
Leia survives and lives on Alderaan until they blow that the fuck up.
And it's like,
Luke survives.
Maybe her dad was dead. It's unclear if her dad was alive or not at the point of episode 4. I assume he was, and got an untimely death on Alderaan.
Yeah, that's what they imply, is that her family is dead.
So yeah, I assume Jamie Smits is alive and well on Alderaan. You know, I assume the Grand Inquisitor is not dead because he's in a fucking show that they're trying to.
He's going to be in a wheelchair next episode.
Well, no, he'll be one of those hover.
No.
Things.
No, he'll be even more oppressed by being in a real wheelchair. He'll feel like you don't even have the courtesy to get him a hover thing. No, fuck that. He can push himself. That'd be funny.
Yeah, this is.
I got nothing more to say.
It's infuriating because it's like it's really there's a lot of things happening. There's like nothing of worth happening.
It's just stuff.
Revelation, like wow, this is a hard, you know, ballsy play by Deborah Chow or the writers or Kathleen King for signing off on it. You know, no, and it's weird. It's like I'm watching it because it's new, but yeah, I don't know. It's like, do I want to play safe or do I want to just like shit on everything like Last Jedi, where it's like, hey, at least I had an emotional reaction to it.
So like even the prequels, like you know, you see Obi-Wan, you know he's gonna live, but it's like they have the main character is basically Qui-Gon Jinn, and you're following him and what he's doing and setting things up, and he dies in the end, and it's like we care, and that's an event that affects our main character that we know was gonna survive. It's like. That was a good type of thing to show us and have the characters go through, even though we know the future. It's like that was a good thing to do. And like just there's a lot of stuff they introduced, even though we know the future. Like they introduced a lot of things and that kept us guessing on some stuff. Like we didn't know the specifics of a lot of things, so that made it a mystery to kind of figure out what exactly is what where. And you know that was good. This is really in your face as well. Like there's no subtlety. It's just kind of like, yep, she's gonna be the main antagonist. You know, Anakin and Obi-Wan are probably gonna fight again. Leia is, you know, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, there's definitely moments of Leia that I was like, oh, that's cute or thoughtful or you know
moments. Yeah.
So I'm surprised. I heard about Kid Leia in this, and I'm like, oh, fuck me. Disney shit. And I see this, and I'm like, this is probably the best part of the show. Now I just want a Obi Leia show.
Meet up with Mando and Baby Yoda at a picnic. Say, hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, you got kids and shit. How's yours? Yeah, you know, mine's a toddler, doesn't speak. How's yours? She's a little brat, but you know, she's cute. Cute little brat though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, that's about all I got for this. You got anything else?
No, I just that like the opening, you know, the Order 66 that's going to be Reva.
Yeah.
But also it's like, you know, it took so long to actually get to Obi-Wan in the show to start. And I'm thinking like there's a lot of just things go on quick, you know, information overload. And it's like, I really wish they would have just took the time and maybe did like a montage of, you know, the monotony of his existence. You know, it's like you have this like probably third in command Jedi Knight of a master of, you know, the High Council. And now he's down to this menial existence. And you know, just like show like a week routine of just the sludge life he's got to live now, the drudgery. And
I thought it'd be more brutal, like you know, getting in fights or you know having to do more menial shit.
Yeah, I would never expect him to actually be like just a working guy.
His regular job doesn't seem that bad. You know, I assumed it'd be a little more tough to do, maybe.
Yeah, especially if I'm scaring Tusken Raiders. You would think they would show somewhere it's like, hey, I'm scratching out existence on I can't even utilize a moisture farm. I just got to like learn how to dig up these melons and find out how to get water on this fucking planet. Like,
just set a trap for those fucking Star Trek monsters and stuff.
yeah,
And
you would think
eat that for a couple months.
you would think Obi-Wan would start like wild, and he's become a bit of like an adept savage to the land.
He needs to be like Castaway. Like, you need to have him
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
harpoon. With the harpoon, his robe's got to be like fucked up and torn. He's got to be like more grizzled, more quiet. Just more savage kind of. But it's like he's still like active though and still doing things, but he's secluded and he's by himself and just looking after the boy. Cool.
Yeah, no, this is no, it's fun breaking this down more. There's things I just never picked up on the first time watching. I'm like, oh my god, it's even worse.
that's the effect, unfortunately. The more you dig deep, the worse it gets.
What's the same things? Like, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones, and of course it ends bad. And a very subvert your expectations bullshit. Like, oh yeah, we knew since season 5 we're gonna have Arya kill the Night King. It's like, what? But it's like, even with that anger, it's like, man, that took some balls to like, purposely subverting what you've been building up the last minute. Like, gotcha, fans, idiots.
I think again, I think it would have been more satisfying even if she still got the kill, but if it was like a teamwork effort with her and John or something where it's like,
yeah,
where it's like he's getting he's taking more of these hits, but she's delivering more attacks to him. Like, he's like taking the brunt of whatever he's doing, and that leaves her open to strike damage to the Night King, and she's able to kill him. Something like that.
Yeah, it's a song of fire and ice. And so you think maybe at first, oh, he's a Stark. He's a Stark representative. He's of the North, the direwolf, the cold. Here's the Targaryens. They're fire-breathing dragons. Oh, unity of fire. And it's like, wait, he's a Targaryen. And the ultimate fight's the fucking Night King. Oh, there's your fire and ice. And
what if one of the dragons set John
Arya's
on fire?
been in Bravos for like 4 years. She's got like no understanding of the fucking White Walkers, and she just like comes last minute and happens to have a Valyrian steel dagger, and it's like Theon Greyjoy couldn't last ditch effort save them. Like, they've had multiple scenes of like lingering of like the back and forth between Night King and John, and like they're building up the tension where it's like, we're gonna meet again. We're gonna throw down, buddy. And then it's like, nah, don't even get a chance. The one time Night King pusses out and raises all the dead to scare them off, and then they never face each other again. And then he gets an unlikely cheap shot by Arya, which he saw it coming. He caught her, and somehow didn't turn her or leave a scar on her like he did Bran, the three-eyed raven. Like, irritating. But
yeah,
they purposely set that up. They purposely ignored certain things to subvert expectations. To try to be like, oh, look, we're just as competent as George R. R. Martin, like setting up these twists that you didn't expect. But they don't make sense. But like, they had balls, and they stuck to it, and they didn't play it safe. Some ways you can look at certain things and like, wow, they really just turned this into like mass appeal, low thought. But I mean, it seems pretty clear they took some thought to like go this way or that way. And that's what's irritating with like the Star Wars shit is there's like no effort. There's just weird angles.
It's pretty much just going one way, and that's it. There's like never any divergence of the way. It's just this is the way. It's literally this is the way. This is the only fucking way. That's it.
It's like, how much real estate is in between these movies so he can like scrape the skin off the bone what we can get.
It's too much, unfortunately. It's too much room.
God.
Unfortunately.
And it's like, well, this takes place in between this movie and that movie that's in between the trilogies in between the main trilogies. It's, you know, and also there's like 2 shows that go around that. And
It's like Stockholm syndrome with that shit. It's just you'll never be able to leave. You'll always come back. No.
Well, if the stock price is any indicator, winter has come for Disney, and it just keeps. I'm waiting to see it go under. Let me look it up really quick. Is it under 100 yet?
I don't know what.
The Disney style. Let me check it. Disney. Oh wow, went up $3. That's sad.
Yep. Well, if anybody actually listens to this far into the fucking thing, then I guess we'll see you on the next one, because I got nothing else to say.
Well, I mean, we were covering 2 episodes as well, so
Yeah. For truth.